Hello, everybody. Welcome to Role Play Give. We're going to play some Against the Giants. We've had the title card of Against the Giants up for a couple weeks. Today, we're actually going to play Against the Giants. Uh, where we left off last. Uh, Sorry, I'm just seeing something looks really weird. Oh, there's something I can do about it. It's all my backlighting. Okay. Uh, where we left off last, our intrepid heroes had traveled to the capital of Keoland, where Saltmarsh is located, and where they have become heroes of that small provincial town. Uh, to visit the king in the court. I know what you want to do, and don't do it. You're muted, and I appreciate that. So uh, they visited King Kimberty Scotty in the capital city of Neildra, and he informed them of, well, they've already were kind of aware of the incursions of the giants upon the good people of Keoland. Um, in fact, the adventurers had seen some of what's been happening, intervening in one of the giants' plots to drive subterranean burrowing creatures towards the towns of Kewland, which they were able to save a remnant of the town of Goodsage before putting a stop to the drums on the south east side of that of the Good Hills. Uh, they are now being they are now given or not well they're given the assignment, and they've accepted, of going and learning more about what is happening in the Good Hills, and to perhaps put an end to it if they can, but at the very least discover what is happening and why the giants are so organized when before they just sort of wandered around under their own uh, sort of devices. So, um, in our last game, uh, an enchanter was met who was actually a diviner. Um, Two of our heroes got super drunk on root-based alcohol, root vegetable-based alcohol. Um, Nearly were arrested by the city guard, uh, and you had a audience with the king, and then you went and visited another enchanter's shop, a larger enchantment shop. And where we left off was Robespierre wished to speak with the agent, uh, the spy master of Neildra, uh, Mistress, and I'm forgetting her name again.
Night
Uh,
Shaper.
yep, Banwuda Nightshaper. And so that's where we're gonna pick it up. But you guys were at a store, so how do you wanna? I'll just leave you guys right where we left off. Pick you up right where we left off.
Yeah, so we had just off stream adjudicated that it's gonna be about $600, 600 gold for the bottomless quiver.
That's true. The Alana, the quiver of Alana, is what it'll be. Yep.
Oh yeah, yes, not bottomless.
All right.
Quite thoroughly
You
flush
you could
quiver.
put about, I would say, 180 arrows in it because it has three containers, and I'm just gonna say you
Hmm.
can fit 30 arrow or 60 arrows in each.
Yeah,
So
that seems fair. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna. I mean, we don't need to role play it out. I'll go ahead and just put that down payment on.
okay,
Um,
it'll be about a
and I will
week.
just sort of wink at the gnome and just say, if you to put a little pep in your step and get this done a little sooner, that would be quite beneficial to us. Huh?
And she
I'm just
does
indicating.
like a super cartoony wink at you. We'll do our best. Ah!
It's like, oh, insight check to see if that's sarcasm.
You don't need to make an insight check. It's not sarcasm. She's just cartoony.
Got it. Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, so I'll put that down. I'm going to subtract that off of my D&D Beyond sheet just so the math is easy or we don't mess up later. and say, I need to pick up one more thing. Some sending stones from our friend in the diviner. I don't remember who's with me.
Not. I wasn't there. So I
Yeah,
don't know who was there. I just know I'm not.
Noob and Robes and I were all together buying the stuff from
Yeah.
the floating gnome.
yeah. I want to say Elva was there too.
I think
Yeah,
I was because I
it,
distrusted her for
yeah. I
one
was gonna say
thing.
But
Elva is
Yeah,
suspicious.
you walked out though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You left.
Elva leaves and
Hmm.
walked out.
it's in the
So
script.
yep,
Um, so I'm going to see him unless you guys anything else you want to
her.
shop for her. See him, the diviner.
Oh, you're gonna go see the diviner. I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna see
Yeah,
Ben Wuda.
yeah. I was like, oh, I got something crossed. No,
No,
the we don't have to role play it out. I just want to buy the sending stone from the diviner before I head to Benwuda.
sure, you can go and uh, visit him again, and he's super happy to see you. Yes, I found that I have a new calling. Thank you very much for your help.
Was it me? It was Noob and Vela.
He
Hmm.
is really an enchanter. It's true.
Diviner, really a diviner.
Nope.
All right. So I will. I mean, if there's anything else, I don't want to step on any shopping because I knew we were kind of like in the middle of a shop. So I'll step away for a second, but I'll come back. I'll put the sending stone in my inventory, and I'll head out to Benwuda.
Okay, that's fine. I can drop them in there on you in D&D Beyond if you want, or in Foundry if you'd like, if it's
Let me
easier.
do it in D&D Beyond so that
Okay.
doesn't overwrite later.
Okay. Cool.
I'll just remember.
Cool. Cool. All right. Those of you who did not travel to the store, what are you doing?
I think it was just me, right? Or did you go
No, I'm
to the
with them
store?
at the store.
Yeah, Nubin went to the
Okay.
store.
I guess I was the only one that didn't go. Um, well, I just had put in my notes that we had heard rumors of Gellin in town.
Yes.
And so Mary's going to wander around East Town and cast Locate Creature just to see if she gets a ping on him.
Can you throw that into the chat so I can see what that says?
Yeah. It's not a very large radius, but
And it
that's just
is
what
like
she's going to do.
this is such a now I'll read it instead of giving something away.
Right. And if there's running water or, just there's a lot of different limitations. But I can cast it 3 times, so I can wander a couple hours.
I think
Well,
it's
3
fun
more
that
times.
you have a bit of fur from a bloodhound on you for that. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna say that's fun that Mary just pulls out a little fur from a bloodhound.
Well, I mean, or I could use my druidic
Judic
focus,
focus.
right?
As long as,
Yeah.
yeah, if it has no value, right?
I do have like 3 component pouches, or at least 2 of them. I have Sandbellet's component pouch.
Oh,
I have my
that's
own
right.
component pouch. So who knows? I have all kinds of stuff I've been accruing.
You know what's
But
crazy
I
is
did buy a druidic focus.
you've only had that Sandbillet's um, spell component pouch for like 6 months.
Well, then it's still hopefully fresh.
In real time, it was 2.5 years ago. But
Yeah. Yeah.
just the fact that you have that name, I'm like, God, I haven't said that name since before the plague. Um,
Yeah, I kept a couple of his things.
that's awesome. Okay, so uh, you do not ping anything. You're wandering around the East Town. Give me also, I'm assuming you're also, you're not just doing a Mandy Patinkin uh in Princess Bride with your sword out, going, "Guide my sword, father." Um,
Probably not. I'm just kind of wandering around a big city all by my lonesome.
give me a perception check.
I'm very yeah, in awe of all the big city things.
Yeah, it's crazy Harry Potter level 3-story buildings. Um, you wander around the East Town, and the spell never connects. Never gives you a ping or anything like that. And unfortunately, after a day of wandering around, just nothing catches your eye. Um, might be a cold lead.
All right.
Okay. The four of you who went to shopping, where do you head when you're done shopping?
Well, I hope that she didn't take advantage of you.
Talking to me?
Yes, you were dealing with the gnome.
No. No, I don't think so. In fact, I think I may have got a bit of a deal. There was some confusion over the price for a moment, but everything worked out.
Well, good. You should be careful with what she gives you. Make sure it is what it purports to be.
You have a problem with gnomes?
Not gnomes, no. The, she has an ancestry that I'm intimately familiar with.
I should say I'm familiar with people who judge me by my ancestry as well. People don't look kindly on the one T in this plane, I should say. I'm not sure
Well,
about the Feywild.
I have to admit I didn't run into any in my time in the Feywild.
Interesting.
So that allows me to judge you solely on your behavior.
That's good. I think maybe a worse thing after all. Actually,
And the guy that looks like a demon is just standing in the back looking at the two of them like, really?
Oh no, I'm fine with tiefling.
Sorry, I'm updating the chat or the Twitch because I forgot to set it to be against the Giants.
oh yeah, can't keep mysteries. This is a very strange episode of the Warbler Brothers.
Yes, it is. Although all the Warbler
putting on a
Brothers
musical.
episodes are pretty strange too.
Yeah, they
That's
are. Oh, nice. I like that you know that.
All right.
All right.
And I have clearly buried the Twitch stream because we're all frozen now on the Twitch. So,
Classic Discord.
Classic Discord. Now we're back and all good. Okay. All right. So you guys have a discussion. Where I'm sorry, I missed where that discussion was happening en route to where.
I am So I'm en route to I can never remember his name. I want to call him Farfaharder or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Like it's what is his name?
His name is Fulcare.
Fulcare. It's such a great name too. I should memorize that. Anyways, I'm heading to Fulcare's place. I just want to pick up the sending stones
Right,
and then
okay.
head out to Benwada. Is it Benwoda?
Benwuda.
Bonwuda.
By Master Nightshaper. Is that the same person?
Correct.
Master Nightshaper.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't write
Sounds
down the
way
first name.
cooler though.
Actual title is I put that in the chat actually. Actual chat is
7 million years ago.
is the King's Vision.
Ooh, the King's Vision.
So, not the chat in here. Sorry, in the Discord, I had put in Benwuda Nightshade, the King's Vision. So, I'm not gonna RP out the stuff with full care. There's just, we'll say he's nerdy. He tries to tell you.
I've already subtracted the gold. So hopefully
tries to tell you your fortune because he's trying out being a diviner now, and it's a lot of this. Your mother died. No, it's your father. No, an uncle.
maybe
You're an
all three.
enchanter.
You're bereaved.
You're an enchanter, man. An enchanter. You're an enchanter.
Stop confusing me. Anyway, so that all happens, and he sells you the sending stones. You have them in pocket, and you can head back to going to. I believe I still have it up here. Activate. And I'm going to go to our map vision here so people can see what we're talking about.
And along the way to... Oh, go ahead. You go first.
No, you're fine. Just making it so that people can see the map of Neil Dra. you guys were in Old Town. Well, you were in East Town when you were talking with the gnome, but talking with Volker is in Old Town, and then you have to head back into the military district into the castle, which is, I believe you're all on the screen now and should see my ping. Heading back there. All right, on the way back there, you wanted to do what?
I just want to turn to the party and just say, so I managed to get some sort of a connection with the spy master. They call her the King's Vision. I think it might be opportunity for us to figure out any sort of loose leads that we have. So I'm going to speak to her about some things that I'm concerned about. But if there's anything that anyone wants to talk to her about, I think this is a good time. I can help with the sort of courtly intrigue, so to speak.
Did you bring her a gift?
I did, and I'll show the sending stones.
Oh, well,
Nice.
good then.
I'll put on my courtly clothes.
Okay. Who would like to come with me?
I'm gonna say
That was my cue that I want to come along.
Mary, it's probably gonna have taken you a good portion of that time to search around.
Yeah, I'm
East Town.
assuming I'm not with the
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
I spent like 3 hours wandering.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page with
You're
that. But yeah.
you're rangering. That's appropriate.
Ranging the town.
sort of.
Rangering.
I always wanted to play an urban ranger. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, this is
Actually-
definitely not Mary's favorite terrain.
I did play an urban ranger. My Varun from the community campaign back on 20 Sides was an urban ranger.
I remember that.
Oh,
I forgot that was my preferred terrain was urban.
It was.
Anyways,
Also, Jorge's in the Eldrin game.
oh, nice. That's cool. I think that'd be more fun. I think I'm like intrigued by that. I want to play that
He
again.
played it as like
Yeah.
a Blade Runner type character.
Yeah. I was a bounty hunter background. So.
That's
Anyways.
he did too. Yep.
Nice. That's
Anyway.
cool. Melee ranger as well. So I would collect anyone who's interested in coming. It sounds like for sure Vela. What about Alva or Nubin?
Don't know what I would say to a spy master, but I'm happy to come along.
You never know. She may say something that piques your interest. We'll see.
You
All
just
right.
want one of us, or do you want all of us to go with you?
Anyone who has a question or wants to make a connection, I will help with the glad handing, so to speak.
Okay. As you approach the castle, you ask to see Mistress Nightshade, and you are taken. Nightshade is not right. It's
Night Shaper.
Nightshaper, and you are expected, and you are brought to an antechamber, to a large office space. She is with some people, and you can hear sort of a heated argument. Do any of you speak Gnomish?
Don't think so. I speak weirdly like a lot of languages. I need to
Nope.
like audit.
I might pick up
Um,
bits and pieces from the Sylvan, but no, not Gnomish.
Yeah, I speak
Yeah.
Dwarvish and Elvish,
There are
but no
no-
Gnomish.
Just give them half each.
I speak Dwarvish twice apparently, so maybe I'm twice as good at it. I don't know. Infernal and Common.
You're like a professor.
Yeah, I could teach it. That's right.
You speak Old Gnomish and Modern Gnomish.
Oh, that could be it. That could be
Dwarvish,
it.
yeah,
You can read the classics.
that's funny. But this is I think Elva recognizes it as Gnomish, and it's just getting to be a bad day for Elva. It's
No,
just-
I don't want anyone to think that I dislike gnomes. It's the particularly the fey gnomes. The forest gnomes are more problematic. The rock gnomes are quite pragmatic.
and as you're
The
saying
way that you are.
They all look the same to me.
you're able to
I just
translate.
want to say that the way that you two are talking is making me feel very uncomfortable right now.
All right, fair. Elva, give me a straight intelligence check.
Okay.
Ooh. You're good at that, right?
Most days.
I have a good modifier, but no.
Yeah, it's.
Uh-oh.
I think it's just because it's not in any way related to the Fae. You are fairly sure this is rock gnome, but you are able to identify it as gnomish. You can't pick out a single word. None of the sylvan ties, none of the root words are coming out to you. None of the root phrases.
Yeah.
And then the door opens and two gnomes walk out, and they look chastened, um,
Well,
as if they've been scolded.
in advance of them coming out, I will relay at least the bit I did know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm I am stepping away for wine, but I can hear everybody. So the door opens. These two gnomes walk out chastened. They kind of look up at you as they walk by, and just kind of shrug. One of them gives like a commiserating look as you're about to go in there. And if you look through the doors, you can see a very severe desk. And walking into the room, it is off-putting how sparsely decorated it is. It's an oak desk, and there's no paper on it. There's no maps, no nothing. Just a dwarven woman, um, with a very severe bun, uh, dark-skinned, uh, older, probably to your estimation somewhere in her 200s. Um, and she has her hands upon the table, just, calmly, and says, "My time is precious."
I put my hand on Robes' back and lean in and whisper, "You've got this," and cast guidance.
Nice.
So I will speak to her in broken Dwarvish intentionally.
Okay.
I'm fluent in Dwarvish, but I'm going to speak to her in broken Dwarvish and just say, like, hello, name is Robespierre, but in Dwarvish, like, pleased to meet you. I'm trying to put on a bad accent.
Yes, I got you.
You should speak in your French one.
Hello, this is me speaking French.
Bonjour.
Would you say what is the accent of a 1T? This might be correct.
Mercy.
She waves her hand. There's no need for that, and she speaks to you in a Yuan-Ti dialect. I don't know
Abyssal?
exactly what you Abyssal, but she speaks to it in your home dialect.
Is it good?
It's spot on. And she
All
says,
right.
"There's no need for that. We can speak in whatever language you choose." And she looks over at your friends coming in. She goes, "Perhaps common."
I think common would be the right accent, right language.
And those of you who don't speak Abyssal just hear those two going into this sibilant. It's a dialect of Abyssal that's snake oriented, serpent oriented, and so there's it's like parcel tongue, from Harry Potter, and
I can only imagine how that feels to Elva, whose native tongue was celestial.
Ooh, no, very, very non-good.
not good. There's a lot of bad juju in the room, and then she just says, "Please," and she snaps her fingers, and enough chairs appear for you all to sit down.
I won't take a seat.
Okay.
And I will just sort of like do a half bow and just say, "Your time is precious. We will be too quick for seating, I think." And I will just reveal the two sending stones and say, "We are adventurers of sort, and we are on a mission for the king to discover." Of course, you know who we are. And I'll just put one stone in front of her and say, "I'm going to hold on to this stone. Part of our deal with the king is that you will provide us some information, as you are well aware. We have a couple of things that we want to be kept abreast of, but we will also keep you abreast of what we see. Understand?"
It's crystal clear to me.
Okay.
And so she wipes her hand across the desk, and the desk turns into. I'm sorry, Mary's not here. It turns into a topographic map of where you're going. and she says, "Your sending stone will be useful. I appreciate your foresight. You are going here." And she circles around, and it's let's go to Keeland in detail.
I'm paying a special attention for Mary later. I do the best I can. I have low intelligence, but I'll try. Well, actually, not low intelligence, but medium.
She
I'll
said,
attempt to internalize it.
There you go.
"So you are currently in Neildra. Yeah. Can you all see when
Yeah.
I
Yep.
yell that? Okay. And you are heading here, just northeast of Plimsdelve. Um, so, my people have set up a cave. That cave has supplies for you for 3 weeks. It's been fortified with extra provisions. There are arrows, there are foodstuffs, there are fresh horses. Once you arrive, they will take care of your needs and then hide the cave should you need to return to it. Please report to me via this wonderful gift that you've given me when you've arrived, and I will provide you with any information I can on any of the subjects you wish, Master Frogquinquant.
I can't even say my own name, so fuck one qua.
Frogquinquant.
Yes, as close as I can get. I think you misunderstand. That would be unnecessary. I will contact you in a more suitable setting when you sleep tonight, and the next night, and the next night, and the next night. I will see you in your dreams. This only when you need to talk to us.
We'll see.
So, and I'll just turn to my party and say, we all have a few things that the king said that we could get from you. For me, I am most interested in a singular subject at the moment.
Okay.
We are being entrapped by someone. They have not sprung the trap yet, but they attacked us back in Saltmarsh. They expected us to arrive late, and we unfortunately arrived late. So I think that there is some activity that I think is a danger to us, and I wanted to know if you have heard anything in the streets.
My suspicion is you are concerned about Mr. Gellin Primewater and Miss Forshade Assoff. Is that correct in my presumption?
I do not know who we are worried about. We were attacked, and the person that survived the attack did not know much about their own employer. I think. I don't remember. Is this right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were
Any
given
Robin.
a different name, but
Were we?
I'm not there to say it, so.
Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I am. Hold on. I have it. It was the dude that turned into a fish, right? This is the guy that
Yep.
Mary
Yes.
chased
Yep.
as a
Yes.
dolphin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow. It takes us a really long time to go for places.
Yes, it does.
Like, click back.
I sometimes
click
wonder
back,
if we play slow
click
or
back.
we just play right, or I don't know. I
Oh
feels right to
no!
me. Feels
Where'd
right
all
to
my
me.
notes go? All my notes from that session are gone. It
Uh-oh.
says the ship starts to float away. Oh, no, they're down here. Okay. The fishy furball is what I called him.
You're gonna.
Ken owns a crime syndicate, a bunch of money, and his cousin Barry Levon.
Yes.
Ken sends notes to a slaver named Cyrus Beachwish with details of our journey.
Yes. Okay. So do you ask about Cyrus Beachwish?
I just chime
Yeah.
into Robes' note to give him the naming.
Okay.
I'll spotlight Vela to talk about it.
Okay. Young lady,
Uh-huh. There's a guy named Cyrus, and he's
Can you
trying to
describe Cyrus?
um the person that no, he was threatening a guy named Ken
I can.
and a guy named Barry Levon, and then they were gonna hurt us. But that's not what I was gonna ask about. So if this is part of Robe's question, I would really love a question after this one.
Ha! Be at ease, child. You're fine. She says, the person who you've had described as such, you know better as Gillen Primewater.
That makes sense.
Is that possible?
He has a number of names throughout Qland. But we only just recently discovered this, and then he was driven from the city with his mistress. So, my understanding is he was driven out, he came back, and I don't believe he's here currently. Is it important to you to know where he is?
It's important that we are not hindered in our conflict with the giants.
Flavor, and if he comes back, you should put him in jail.
The king has decreed it so, yes. And she goes into, and you realize there are drawers upon drawers upon drawers. There's nothing on her desk because everything has its place. And she pulls out a small crystalline ball, places it on the table. This taxes me a great deal. And then she places her hand on it. He's been a minor issue to the king. But having his blessing to aid you in your concerns, and she places it, and you could just see like her skin sags and cracks at the same time as she puts energy into this crystalline ball, and then an image appears over her head of Gillen Primewater and a woman with fiery red hair, wearing sort of a tiara and a large cape. And in fact, the cape seems very similar to Vela's cloak of billowing. It is for drama. This woman is drama, and what you see is Gelen, and he is in a snowy, icy environment. And she says, and he is speaking in giant. He says words that make no sense. They say, when the river runs south and the threads connect, the gate will open. And then she pulls her hand away. I think he saw me.
Not good.
Not good at all.
But also
Cool
not
that you
bad.
put LoJack on him, though.
Well, my suspicion would be he's in the Jotuns.
Would we know where the Jotuns is off the top of our heads? Or is that something...
What Mary would.
Damn it. I'll make a mental note.
You probably... The Jotuns are mountains to the north. But... oh, no, they're not. They're right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
they're the icy things.
Yeah. The good
Further
hills.
west, right?
Yeah, they're behind the good hills. Sorry.
The good hills are essentially the foothills to the Jotuns.
The Jotuns, yep.
Got it.
Seems like he's in front of you.
That's helpful, but I think I appreciate it. We will stay in communication, but my friends had something to say to you.
Yes.
Lubin, Eva, Vela.
Other questions? I'm at your disposal, apparently.
Nothing from me. The king has the information that I hoped he would find, and it's not urgent.
He has relayed your concerns to me. We will be seeking the Willow Sparks in Seaton. If we find anything, we'll let you know.
But do you have anything?
Nubin looks perplexed, like he wants to ask a question, but doesn't want to ask a question
Spit
at
it
the
out.
same time.
Spit it out. I should roll an insight check, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna RP it.
I wonder if you are familiar with the monastery from where I grew up and what may have happened to it. And he explains more
Okay,
about
yeah, I
the
was gonna say
monastery without giving all the background.
she's very, very knowledgeable. She speaks 12 languages, but she doesn't know everything. So when you explain that, she starts taking some notes, and she said, "Well, that is interesting." Do you tell her anything about what you found when you guys were in the Underdark?
I would give her all the information basically. Like,
okay,
we've been told that Gellin is involved in this somehow. All of that stuff. And I'm curious if anyone else survived, if she's aware of like what may have happened there.
She takes some notes and she says, "I am not completely aware. I have had the good fortune of having the Emperor hail, and I don't mean to be indelicate, but am heartened to hear it is back in the world. I am aware of the Red Hand is the Scarlet Brotherhood. My understanding is that forces were concentrated in Seaton and in Saltmarsh, and they ran afoul of Master Primewater's agents and are no longer players on the stage. My suspicion is Mr. Primewater is very much involved and responsible for the demise of your monastery. As to any brothers who may have survived, I will add it to the list. We will look."
And Newman will say, "We'll thank her and going to bow." And as he bows, he's going to put a flask of the ale on the table.
This is the first time she smiles, and you can see a look of true gratitude. And she said, "For being in such a cosmopolitan place, you would be amazed at what savages they are when it comes to beer. This is a gift fit for a king." And it goes in a drawer.
Let me make a mental note of that. I am often concerned about what gifts should go to kings.
And you, young elf, you seem to have a question.
Vela pulls out the knife and the trading card that she got when she was in the styes.
Yep.
Underneath the ground, in the dirt or the mud underneath the layer of the aboleth, and sets it on the woman's desk. This is my father's knife, and this is my face. And I don't know how they got to the styes because my parents died. But I don't understand where these might have come from because they would never have seen me. I mean, they would have seen me, I guess, just barely at this age, but I don't know how these got to the styes. And I'm wondering if maybe you do?
when she asks your family name and all of the history, the family history, and no, those names are not familiar to me. Make a persuasion check. Ooh. Okay. She feels for you, and she says, I cannot do the trick I just did more than once a day, but tomorrow I will look for your parents. May I keep this? And she, the trading card.
You can keep them both as long as I get them back when I come back.
Certainly. And she will take them and put them in yet another drawer.
It's probably safer to keep them here anyway.
You are going into danger. But
If you find them, you can give them back to them in case I don't come back. I'm pretty sure they're dead though.
Go with doll child. And she pets your hand, and she says it in Elvish.
Ah, Viola starts crying a little.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm gonna reach into my pouch and pull out the vitrified eye of a displacer beast and place it on her desk.
Ah! What is that? That is an eyeball?
It has been turned to glass.
Indeed. So it has.
Everyone else was giving you trinkets, so I wanted to be a part of it.
Oh, does it do anything?
Not yet.
Intriguing. And she goes to get another drawer, and she opens it up, and it's like a teacher's drawer from like all the stuff they've confiscated that year. And she takes the picture, and thank you. She puts it
iPod, the Walkman.
puts it in the drawer.
What is it? Vitrified what?
Eye of a displacer beast.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Perhaps that can be a focus someday.
It seems that the vision of the king could always do with extra eyes.
Appropriate. Well, are we wrapped up here? Anyone else have anything to say? Okay.
All right.
I'll turn to her in Abyssal, and I will say, it is the bright day that brings forth the other, and that craves weary walking.
Is there a correct response to that?
It's an old 1T saying.
Okay.
From Shakespeare.
Nice. And
Snakespeare, I guess. Oh, brooch.
And she will say to you in Dwarvish, given that she's not sure, she thinks you may understand. I rolled pretty low on my insight. That says it in sort of childish Dwarven, may you always have solid rock beneath your feet and a roof over your head. And it gives you all good wishes, holds the stone up, I will be in contact. And she says, Master 1T, my dreams are no plaything. Careful where you tread.
I lean over to
Understood.
to Robes. Do you need her fingernail?
Only if I wanted to torture her at night, but I don't.
Okay.
Well, I am very busy, thank you. I appreciate the connection. Best of luck to you on your mission. The hill giants are but, I believe, the first part of this. She holds up her hand in sort of a greeting, and then a bunch of people kind of from doors that you didn't necessarily notice were in the room open, and she's got people bringing her new information, and she starts reading at her desk.
I'll just turn to Alva and say, Alva, did you get a good picture of that map?
I believe so.
Let's show it to Mary.
I think I can recreate it, at least in broad strokes.
But Mary likes skinny strokes.
Well, I'm not a
Very
cartographer,
precise.
but I'll do the best I can.
We'll get you a small brush that will help.
Mary, at the end of your wanderings through the East Town, where would you head afterwards? Would you head back to the castle?
Okay, so our meeting at the castle was at 1. We had our meeting. We all kind of dispersed. And then I mean, I don't know what time of day it is.
It's probably now early evening, and like I said, it's late spring, early summer.
Okay.
Everybody's happy about the weather.
Well, and I don't think we talked about where to meet up because, to be honest, I think when they did the store visits, it wasn't very clear who was going or who wasn't. It just
Yeah.
kind of was like people started talking, and if they wanted to be there, they were there. So I don't know where we're supposed to meet up.
Well,
So
you guys can say that
We're
you
at
had a
our rooms.
conversation
Aren't we at
about
the
it.
Naughty Carrot, or are we staying in the palace?
The Naughty
I don't
Carrot is the
think
bar
we're-
that they went drinking at.
The
there.
regular
Naughty
geese.
Carrot,
The regular
That's verboten.
the regular geese is the inn you were staying at. Yeah.
I don't
The
think
nu-
I'm allowed back in.
Regular
the
geese
Naughty
and the
Carrot.
naughty
Right.
carrot.
I don't
Polite
think I
geese.
want to go back.
I think Mary and Helva were banned from the Naughty Carrot.
I mean, I could,
I have no
disguise
memory
self and
of
return.
being banned, but I don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back. I think I would. I mean, my assumption is we would meet up at the inn. So
Yeah.
that's where I would
That's
wander
fine.
back.
That's
to.
fine. You guys can
Regular
say
geese.
what you discussed. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that's one of those things where, like, in reality, we probably would have had like a very mundane conversation of like, see you back at the thing, So I think it's cool.
The way
The regular goose.
the way the ending played out was I'm like, well, we're wrapping up, and we kind of kept doing one more thing. So it
Yeah,
got to be.
That
I
was me.
should have asked because I really don't think Mary would have wandered the city by herself, but that's the way it kind of played out. Like if every other person was going together, I would have probably gone along just because that seems really unsafe to wander. But that's what I ended up doing because I turned around and you guys were all gone. So
You probably have a bad hangover right now, so you're probably not thinking.
No,
No,
we
I
had those
cast-
removed.
I cast remove
Yeah.
poison or
That's
whatever.
true. That's
or
true.
lesser
Yeah,
restoration. So
Yeah.
that's right. That's
I'm
right.
not hungover. I just got
Yeah.
distracted and then everybody was gone.
It's awesome.
Man, that would be cool in real life.
In real life.
I
Yep.
know.
Yeah.
As
Called
we
IV.
as we return to the inn to find Mary, I'm keeping my eyes open for any sign of Carloman, the young halfling thief.
You got
Just
it.
to
Robespierre, did you find it odd that the king's spymaster appeared to know so little about us while we were on our way to meet with the king? I would think a spymaster would want to know anything and everything about everyone the king is about to meet with.
What makes you think that she knew so little about us?
She didn't know any of the stories anyone told. Her
Well,
knowledge. I could see her not knowing much about me, as I've not been on this plane for some time. But the rest of you have been very active in a way that she should have known more about.
Paul.
The fact that Nubin mentioned things that he's done and that you all have done that she didn't know about struck me as problematic.
Paul, did it seem that she genuinely did not understand our background and history? Because I have a take. Robespierre has a take on it. Well, Robespierre will say this. He'll say, well, the thing to understand about the court is nothing is as it seems. She may have acted that she didn't understand us, but this is very possible that she actually did know everything about
But wouldn't
us.
it behoove her in this situation to impress us with her knowledge, to give her that position of power, so that we would know going into this that we couldn't pull anything off? We are an unknown commodity. We are free agents that the king has now employed in his name. It would benefit the spymaster, from my perspective, to impress upon us her extensive knowledge and reach so that we would not feel that we could get away with anything.
It is possible, but in my experience, sometimes it is better to seem weak and to draw out a enemy. When you are, there's a saying, when you are strong, appear weak. When you're weak, appear strong. So in a microcosm, when it comes to information warfare, it's very possible that she did not want us to know everything she knew, so that we would not be so suspicious. But again, I don't know. How do you say?
I tend to agree with Robes. I think you would be a pretty poor spy if you were easy to read and incredibly forthcoming with the information you hold.
But I think it would only benefit her to have impressed upon us, agents of the king, the depth of her knowledge. And I didn't get that feeling.
You might be right, Elva. You could be a poor spy to reveal your secrets, but you could also be a poor spy to not have secrets. So it's a bit of a catch-22 to some degree. Paul, did we get any vibe off of her that she knew more than she was letting on?
You can
by
make
any
an
chance?
insight check in like recalling back on
Hindsight.
the conversation. In hindsight, yeah. Thank you. It's a hindsight
sure.
check.
It's not my strongest, but I rolled well.
Okay. You think that she was being very forthright with you. There were a couple things that catch both of you. You rolled both of you. That Elva's not wrong. She benefits nothing holding anything back from you. And so what you asked, she told. What she needed to tell you, she told. Were there way more things she could tell? Absolutely. But she didn't. And you also get the sense that she was absolutely charmed by Vela and the naivety, and truly, truly grateful for the beer from Noobs. Almost to the point of feeling indebted to Nuben.
Whoa, Nuven.
So
it's good beer.
She feels like you get the sense that she was not lying when she said she feels like she's living among savages who don't know how to make a beer. So she's very businesslike, but had nothing to gain from lying, but would never tell more than she needed to.
I don't know, Elva. What is your suspicion that she's not fit for her role?
I don't know that I have enough information to have a suspicion just yet. I just wondered if you felt the same concern that I'm not sure what to make of it. As I said, I would think the spy master of the king would want to know more about the people meeting in private with the king than she seemed to know about us. And so perhaps, well, I don't think it changes our behavior in any way because we were still going to keep our eyes open for this prime water fellow, but we'll need to perhaps rely just as much on ourselves as we have to date and less on what information she might have to offer.
Well, that I agree with. Any information you get is color through the filter that it is presented. So what we show to her, what she showed to us, is on each of our own discretions for our own purposes. So
He did give you valuable information about his whereabouts. We have a pretty good idea.
If accurate. So,
well, if the map she showed us is accurate, the place she suggested is the only place that makes sense for that to be. However, it is a large section of the map.
Mm-hmm. But we must go now with eyes wide open, right? So, But I understand your concern. I do not think it is necessarily a sign of a traitor or an incompetent. I think that sometimes it is a sign of someone who wants to keep a few cards to her chest. But again, just my take.
Okay.
That said, why don't we go find Mary? I'm hoping that she's not an empty carrot.
I should hope not too. That the
Flashbacks are
flavor,
not a carrot.
the flavor that lingers in your mouth is abysmal. No offense, of course.
I'm just imagining like a different kind of bird goes walking into the naughty carrot and orders a drink.
Says, got any grapes?
Yeah.
The duck walks into the
It'll
naughty
be a
carrot.
duck. Yeah.
Yeah, orders a drink.
I think Mary's had enough of the naughty carrot.
You guys can all rendezvous as planned back at the regular geese. And you are rendezvoused early evening. Anything you wish to do with your evening, it would not be safe at this point to leave Neildra into the evening. But you can, if you so choose. If you want to catch a couple, maybe 2 hours of travel and camp in the open grounds to the west.
Is the plan to wait in Neildra until the quiver is completed?
I had not planned for that.
It would be 5 days,
I
right?
think we have to go. Yeah, it'd be well, roughly 5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
Do I
Man,
see
how you count your
Carloman on
days.
my walk?
Give me a perception check. You do.
What's he doing?
He is singing, and it is a song from a popular opera slash musical, and is collecting money from people. And with that perception check, you can tell that he is collecting busking tips, but also pickpocketing people as they are giving him money. He's in a
Nice.
main square, and there are lots of people gathered around because he has a surprisingly beautiful voice as he is singing songs that are from Oliver.
It's the pickpocket halfling, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Where is love?
I am gonna
You're with
go
everybody
up.
else, so what do you, I mean, just
On the way back, I'm not with them yet. If this is on the way back to the tavern, right?
Right.
this is the
you're
way
not
back to
Yeah.
meeting you. Yes,
So,
sorry.
okay. No, I just want to know
get him.
when
I'm
I'm
trying to get
present
him
with the group.
I'm trying to get you reunited into the group. So
No, it's all right. I'm
Um,
fine at the tavern, but I just want to make sure I know where I am.
I'm gonna make note of his location.
Okay.
And then after we get back to Mary in the tavern, I'm gonna ask if she wants to come with me because she is my voice of ethics in this group and morality, and I feel like a talking to from Mary might help set him on the straight and narrow.
okay.
Oh no,
And
'cause
I'm gonna see if I can
no.
convince her to
He's
help
about
me with
he's
that
about
conversation.
5 blocks northeast of, or sorry, 5 blocks. You're heading southwestish, so he's several blocks northeast by the time you get back to your tavern. But you
Okay.
get back to the tavern, I'm gonna say, since so
That's fine.
you clock him doing this,
Mhm.
and then you
I
walk.
don't mind if you take it, Dusty. I know you were searching. Like, I'm not trying to. I just
No,
didn't want
no.
to be like, oh,
It
I'm with
wasn't
the group if I'm not with the group.
I would probably have waited to find because I'm still in like this weird like am I a cultist headspace? And I feel like I need to find somebody who has a purer sense of morality to help because I tried once already to set him straight and it didn't work. So
Oh
I'm going to
boy.
try and find another person to help.
Checking in with Mary, who has probably been at the tavern now for about an hour before they get back.
All right.
with all the shopping, all of the discussion,
Just
etc.
waiting for my friends. I'm going through all my inventory. I've got all these little bags of things.
Mm.
So I was just kind of sorting and organizing, putting little labels on everything so I can find it
Nice.
easily. That's for you, Tony.
Appreciated. Appreciated.
In joke, but awesome.
Mary can be overheard saying, "I don't know why more people do this. It's not hard."
No, it's just tape on bags, for goodness sakes. I don't know why people have to pay for this.
Nice.
I'm so mad I missed this joke.
Oh, sorry.
Parenting.
Wasn't that great?
Made me laugh.
I was gonna say Paul leaned back. That's a sign of quality humor.
Oh,
No, Mary was organizing her things.
lots of
while
in jokes.
yeah, it was just
Oh, okay, got it.
Mhm.
Throwback joke. Got it.
exactly. Oh, good to see you all. I didn't mean to wander off on my own again. I don't know what happened. I thought I heard a noise, and then the buildings are so big. But I found my way back here, so that was good.
Mary, let me smell your breath, please.
I haven't been drinking.
Mary, can you?
That's precisely what somebody who drinks too much would say.
Mary,
Or too
ignore
little.
them. Will you come help me? There's a kid that's pickpocketing, and I just feel like he needs a voice of ethics, and I was not with the appropriate people to have a moral conversation with him. I don't know if you've met our friends, but of
Um,
them.
It's fair.
Bit insulting.
I'm sorry. Like, what did we do to you?
I didn't say that loud enough for you to hear.
Um.
I said it telepathically.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair then. Okay.
all right.
So out loud, I'll say, "Mary, are you free?" And then in her head, I'll say the other stuff.
Okay.
Absolutely, Vela. I'll respond very awkwardly because I'm trying to think of what I should say, but I'll just say absolutely.
Guys, we're just gonna. I just need to do some things with Mary real quick. We'll be back in a little bit.
Don't do the whole sampler. It's a mistake.
We won't. But in the meantime, find some paper and write that map down because she's gonna want it.
Oh, I
And
think-
on the way
Making
to
a map of the city, but it's hard. It's like there's no trees or rivers. It's just a bunch of buildings.
I get that. We saw a really awesome map. So the I know that Robes and Elva were talking about it to try and like make a broad strokes but then narrow strokes too of the map that we saw that we thought you might like.
Oh, well, that's very thoughtful. See, we have some wonderful friends, don't we, Vela?
That's true. It's true.
They're very thoughtful.
They're very thoughtful. Yep. They make some. I mean, I'm not blameless at all, but I feel like, which is why I wanted to come to you, because there's this kid who keeps on pickpocketing, and I feel like he's got a brighter future ahead of him. He sings like an angel.
See, the problem for me, Vela, is I'm usually pretty good at knowing what I think is right, but persuading others to see the same way, I'm not very good at that.
Right. Well, I could give you guidance, and maybe that will help. Like,
I'll give it a shot. I don't want to let you down.
So
you
guys,
would never let me down, Mary.
You guys are in the old town, and you had seen him singing in this square in the military district.
Mhm.
So that's where you guys are heading.
Excellent. Okay, that's him. His name's Carloman. And if you watch right there, see, he took that person's wallet while they were giving him gold. Not cool.
But I didn't notice. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I did. That's all that matters. Because you
He's-
know me.
I believe you. He's
Exactly.
just very, very good at it.
He's moved
Right.
on to songs from Dear Evan Hansen. Um,
I love my parents.
Wait, no. Who says that?
Nice.
So and
I know that song.
the crowd is just as strong as it was before. Uh, he's doing flourishes now. Beautiful singing voice.
So you just want me to go up and tell him
Well,
to mend his ways?
like run into anybody? Well, what? Okay, so here's the part of what I was thinking was like maybe we talk to him and then we connect him up with um the spy master because he's super stealthy and really good at it. So maybe he could be like an agent for her. Or I don't know where were you all day? Where were you all
Um,
day? I
I
didn't see you all day.
was kind of wandering around. Yeah, I know. Never mind. It wasn't a very fruitful walk.
Well,
So,
did you happen across like a theater or like an orchestra space or anything like where there was a performing arts center?
I mean, I really didn't notice much of anything. I don't know what happened. I just was like in awe. I don't know. I rolled really bad on my
Yeah, I
perception.
was gonna say. I was thinking back to it, and I'm like, would you have seen anything? Probably not.
No.
I
Unfortunately.
was trying to find like, markers to guide myself, but the big cities no, sorry, Vela. I really didn't see anything helpful.
It's different than a forest. And this isn't my city, so I can't get around here as stealthily as I can around Saltmarsh, but I mean, I've seen you work in a forest and it's how I work in a city, and I definitely don't work that way in a forest, so I get it. Um, so I guess maybe we take him back to the spy master and
Do you
just off like could
think
try to
he'll come?
convince him to go to the spy master as like an employment opportunity.
All right. I mean, we can
I
try
mean, do you
to
have other ideas? I'm totally
encourage
in.
him to put his skills to good use. I mean, I don't know of, I'm not very persuasive. I could try to do something where um, I could make myself look like him in 20 years from now, friendless and old and,
Ooh,
like,
that's terrifying.
I
Visit
don't
I
know.
John
love
Bender
it.
in 20 years.
I don't
Smoke
know
up,
how
Johnny.
halflings yeah, just sort of like, see your future self
I love this plan.
and this is you if you don't
And
turn things around.
can you do a version of him that's bad and then a version of him that's good? Or just one?
I mean, he's going to be taller than I can only do it once, and he's going to be a lot taller than he is because I can only adjust my own height by a
And
foot.
he's a halfling.
You know? I
I
don't know.
mean,
I've never tried that before.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
be huge.
I
mean,
knew
I've
that
never.
growth spurt was going to hit at some point.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's not
Oh
such a
man.
good idea. I haven't done that very often. Being a halfling is challenging. I mean, I think your idea of convincing him to put his skills to good use, and I didn't meet the spy master, but I imagine they would need people like him.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool if he would work for her.
Yeah.
And um, how far away is she from where we are? Like how long was the walk from where she was to where he is? The spy master.
Oh, about probably 4 or 5 blocks. It's like 10 blocks total to your.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not very far.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we convince him to just walk with us 5 blocks to meet with the spy master. And then when we get there, I like talk through the walls at her and just say like, I have a new recruit for you. I would really like to get him off the street so he stops stealing from all the people of Neildraw and puts his skills to your use.
Question, Vela. What if,
Yeah.
I mean, some people can't be persuaded very well. They just, I've noticed that I'm usually motivated by the common good, but not
Huh.
everybody is. So what if we introduce them and he still just is out for himself?
Then we'll just have to kill him. I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
lord.
I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
okay, good. I'm just saying we can't really vouch for him.
No, I mean I can vouch for his abilities.
Yeah.
And she probably knows who he is already.
I mean, this sounds really nasty, but we could just say either put your skills to good use, or we will pepper this whole city with your face and what you're doing, and people will turn around and not even give you another look. You
We
know, we're
could
gonna make it
have
difficult for you.
we could have him walk with us, and then if he doesn't like working for the spy master, we could say, "Okay, we'll just turn you into her." And then he'll get jailed.
I'm starting to feel really bad about this.
Well, he's stealing.
I know, I
He just did
know.
it again.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't. Okay, let's
He's
go
stealing
talk
people's
to him.
livelihoods and their
I know,
dinner.
I know it's wrong, but me going and telling him it's wrong. Well, let's just go. Let's go and
I
talk.
put my hand on her back and I say, "You can do this." And I
Why
cast
did you pick
guidance.
me? My charisma is terrible.
Because you're the morally good one of the party.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to this poor young man as he's singing, and just be, "Excuse me, sir. My friend there. She told me what you're doing, and we think you should put your skills to good use and work for the common good. There's a spy master that we would love to introduce you to that could make good use of your services. Otherwise, we're going to have to make it more difficult for you to do your stealing because it's just not fair. There's a lot of people who work very hard for the money that you're stealing from them."
And he goes to grab both of your hands.
No, I don't think so, buddy. I don't want you touching me
And then he
because
turns it into a hand claps of himself, and he just breaks into, "I work hard for the money, so hard for it, honey," and he just starts dancing around, and people start clapping.
Mhm. I just shrug at Vela. Like,
Mm.
all right, so you're just
Can't
saying,
argue with the Miami Sound Machine.
yeah, all right.
That's Diana
Alright.
something.
I
Donna something.
explained it the best way I could, Vela.
Didn't Gloria
Okay.
Estefan also do that?
She might have. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna walk back to the spy masters and like let her know that he's there, because he's stealing people's dinner right off their table. That's not cool.
No, I agree. I mean, I think we could still just let people know who he is and kind of put the name out there and the image and say
Yeah.
stay away.
I'll walk up to the ladies and gentlemen, Carlo Man. Carlo Man. Isn't he great? This is Carlo
And
Man.
everybody, if you want to check your wallets and make sure that you gave exactly the amount you wanted to give and not more to this young man here.
Are you amplifying your voice in any way?
I'm
Yes,
just saying it
thaumaturgy.
loudly. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
I don't have any magical way of amplifying my voice.
I think I have thaumaturgy. Yeah, thaumaturgy.
No, man.
I'll reiterate what she's saying.
No. So you see people start checking their purses, and they're like, "Hey!" and he's like, "Gotta go," and starts to Scooby-Doo off, but he does not get away. So a lot of people, and he's just
Oh,
sitting
now
there.
we can watch the crowd beat him to death. That'll be fun.
But we aren't there, Elva.
No, we won't get to see it.
Because
We'll only hear.
We
we'll
were
only hear
morally
about it.
corrupt to
Yeah,
a point where we couldn't go
we didn't get the
Whatever.
teenager beat to death because we're not morally.
because
Pure enough.
we are not morally pure enough. That's exactly right.
Whatever.
We didn't press gang a kid into service to the spy master because we're not morally pure enough.
So he's like handing out money, like, and he does a thing where he just showers coins out, and then tries to break out.
I mean, I'm not going to stop him or anything.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'll let him go.
I gave him advantage, so he does and he hightails it out of there after throwing money out at the crowd, and he escapes. So
I guess just tell your friends to watch out for him. We tried to tell him the error of his ways, but he seems very insistent on stealing from y'all. So just get the word out.
Be like,
Thanks, Mary.
fair enough, and everybody's just patting their pockets and like, God, I know I had a couple more silver in there.
Don't understand this fascination with money.
And you guys can reunite back at the inn for your night before you leave. Anything you guys want to do that night?
I mean,
Did you guys draw the map for Mary?
I will do my best.
I'll try.
Oh, I'll sit
We'll
with the
try
two of you.
to.
I have my cartographer's tools, guys. Maybe if
So-
you describe it, I can try to draw it, and you tell me if it looks similar.
So my thought was, while they're out, Elva would try to draw the map as best she can, and maybe with Robes we could work together and assist on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at. I'm not a. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty good at artistic talents. So I don't have a proficiency in performance, but I've got a good charisma.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking purely intelligence, like to remember what I was looking at, because I was trying to commit it to memory as it was there.
Fair enough. I have a decent. I have a 14 intelligence.
So let's just do a combined one there. Intelligence check and a performance check to reproduce it.
Okay.
What are you guys like drawing with or on or any of that kind of stuff?
I went
figured
to
would
the
have just
bartender to see if they had some like butcher paper that we could draw on.
yeah,
Okay.
a
Cool.
little bit of
Napkins.
charcoal and butcher paper.
It's just like a bunch of 4x4 napkins all spaced out in
Yeah,
a
it's
grid.
back of the
like
napkins.
graph paper.
But we didn't do too poorly.
No.
Yeah.
And with the butcher paper and some charcoal, I was going to give you either advantage or whatever, just based on Mary's cartography skill. So, like, if she sees you go, these are the good hills, she'll know where those.
Well, and we can take the rough map that we do
Yeah.
and then walk Mary through it and sort of.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So with those skills, actually, you have a pretty accurate map, and Mary's able to sort of transcribe that into like what you see, what she's doing when she tells you, okay, this is supposed to be this, and this is. She's actually got a drawing on this butcher block that actually looks pretty much what you saw.
Is this helpful to you, Mary? Can you understand it?
Well, yeah, you both did a wonderful job here. This is very good.
Well, I think we learn from the master. So
I was just trying to remember what I saw.
Yeah, I think you did a great job with that, Elva. This is very.
I haven't had enough time with the master to really appreciate the art form yet.
Oh, I'm not a master. That's just Robespierre being nice.
no, Mary. I've seen what you can do with the map. It's beyond anything I've ever seen, actually.
It's a hobby of mine. I like to kind of know where I'm going. Try to anyway. Why don't you sign it? Can you both sign this one? Because
nice.
that
Sure, I can do that. And I'll do like an absolutely ridiculous, ostentatious signature.
it's totally how I pictured Robespierre's
And
signature.
Elva will just write her. We'll just write her name.
Like just print Elva.
Yeah, she'll write the whole thing, and it's like obviously she's written it before, but it's just writes her name.
Like how you'd write it in crayon.
That's
She's holding the pen like this.
I don't think that's probably accurate because Elva's real smart.
right.
That's true.
Well, thank you. I'll add this to my map. If you don't mind, I can roll it up with the other maps I have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought that was its intended purpose.
All right, just making sure. I didn't want to take it if it's something y'all wanted to hold on to.
No, my understanding was simply that we were recreating what we could as best we could, so that you could use it to turn it into an actual serviceable map.
And someday I'm going to be able to have a map like what the king has. That would be pretty awesome.
Mm.
When I was
Well,
going through my bags before, I was trying to look and see if I had little items that I might be able to use. Like, anyway.
If there's,
Means, huh?
oh, you should certainly make a chance next time we're in town to visit the Spymaster, because her map is quite impressive. And if you ever need assistance with the arcane side of things, I can attempt to help with that.
Oh, that could be very interesting.
Tony just settles back into this frame. I enjoyed this sliding back into our game.
Sorry, I
No,
just
don't.
as a well, fair warning, we're having some ugly storms out here, so
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Oh, hope you're all right. Hope you're safe.
yeah. Well, I think we're fine. The dogs believe the sky is falling, but
Yes.
I think we're going to be fine.
Aw.
It's too early in the season for really bad storms.
Right. Understood. Okay. Anything you guys wish to do with your evening, or are getting a good night's sleep and leaving in the morning, or are you gonna leave tonight?
I
I think
don't
we
think
said you were
it's a
able to
good
procure
idea.
enough horses for the two of you that don't have horses. So
Uh-huh.
I am going to try to contact other plane,
okay.
and I'll reach out to Mary if she's willing to spot me again,
Oh,
since she kind of
I can
knows.
do that. Absolutely. Before you do your spell, I have something I've been wanting to give you, and you got to promise me you're not going to eat it first. All right?
Okay. I promise I will not eat whatever object you're going to give me.
I mean, just because sometimes you just eat really fast, like it's just in your mouth and then it's gone. So, and so
True.
I'm going to give you, it looks like
Child.
a thorn. It's about an
He's
inch
a
and a half
toddler.
long. And I'm going to say this was in the pouch that Wanderroot gave me. It's a seed, and this seed I actually know. It's from a tree in the Axewood where I grew up, and this is a special kind of tree. It grows in very unhospitable places, in rocky soil where other trees might get like choked out in harsh and unforgiving conditions. But it grows, and a lot of people avoid using the wood from the tree because, well, look at the thorns on it, and it's just so inaccessible. It's a bit of a hassle, but I like to think with a little patience, the hassle might be kind of worth it because the wood, it's strong and beautiful. And my bow is made from the wood of this tree, and well, it hasn't let me down yet. So the reason I'm giving it to you is I know you're not in a place to put down roots quite yet in life, but maybe when you do and you finish what you set out to do, you might want to take the seed and plant it because and see what happens. Because, I think everybody should have something to nurture and watch grow. And man, being in the city and just seeing how different it is from where I grew up, and you grew up in this kind of environment, and I don't know. I just thought maybe having a little bit of the axewood would be a, a nice thing for you.
I'll take the thorn and just say, I don't know what to say, Mary. I would just simply say that I understand.
I
and
would
that
like
would
to
cherish
grant
it.
an inspiration for that exchange.
Yes, for sure.
Very good.
For sure. God, you got me in the feels.
Aw.
The good thing Bela was nowhere around to shoot, but
That's
we're
right.
mad jealous.
I will take the thorn and I will place it in my breastplate, a little pouch.
Ow. Oh, okay.
We all have it's labeled thorn.
Yeah, I put a piece of tape on it. I read about this in a book. It was very helpful. Put
that way
tape on
So
things.
it
you
does
know
Does
what?
it
spark
bring you
joy.
joy, though?
Nice.
All right, but I just wanted to make sure because I know the spell that you're about to do can sometimes have not so
Dusty must
pleasant
be
effects.
sneezing
Yeah.
or blowing her nose.
Oh,
No, she's crying because that was actually so impactful and emotional.
And also, yes, I was blowing my nose. Thanks, noob.
Sorry, and I totally interrupted you, Mary. I'm
It's all
sorry.
good.
oh, I was just saying I wanted to give it to him before he did a spell
Right.
because there's sometimes bad things that can happen with the spell. So.
No. Maybe it'd be a good luck charm for me. We'll see.
Oh, I hope so.
Watch me roll a natural 1.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
All right, here we go. Well,
All
I
right,
don't
so
know if
got a
there's any
reroll.
way I can
You
help
just
you.
got a reroll out of that, so there's 3
that is
rerolls for the
true.
players.
That's true.
So,
That could be huge. I might
it's
narratively
almost
use
like
it.
you were just given inspiration.
It is. So I'm gonna do contact other plane.
Okay.
And this is the last thing I'm doing tonight. I think that perfectly cool if anyone else does anything else, but I definitely am going to be doing this.
Okay.
Unless something attacks us. Oh come on, use pack magic. Default to that. Anyways, let's contact other plane, and I'm contacting the Weaver, and specifically I want to talk about the bracelet.
You got it. All right.
So
DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
that's a real bad saving throw for me too.
Good God,
All
that's
right.
really high.
Yeah, my intelligence is +2.
Can I give him guidance before this?
We've already said he went and grabbed Mary.
And
to
guidance
watch over
doesn't
you.
affect saving throws
It
anyway.
doesn't. Yep.
Oh, that's true.
I think resistance does maybe.
Bless.
Bless.
Oh,
Okay.
is that black?
I
Bless.
What's
am
resistance
not.
do?
Oh, I have
Uh,
bless.
Not
Resistance gives resistance to
Certain
damage
types of
types.
damage. Yep.
I think I'm
Are
thinking
you
of a different
sure?
spell.
But it's too late at this point for
It
me
is
to chime
too
in on
late
this.
I
for that.
swear I took it once
Although
with
it-
a character thinking it did one thing and it
It
did another.
seems to me that in the future I could probably hit you with protection from good and evil, and you could probably get some mileage out of that there.
Interesting. All right, here we go.
But he made a specific roleplay choice to
Yeah.
bring Mary.
God,
So
robes.
All right, I'm going to use my inspiration, or I guess
Use
Mary's
a reroll?
inspiration.
Yeah,
Yep.
use inspiration.
Here we go. I might have a rough night tonight. Intelligence saving throw.
Oh yeah,
that'll do.
it is a good luck charm.
It was.
It
It's
is a
the
good luck
full-
charm.
You actually feel like as you're traveling through the planet to contact the Weaver, you feel madness at just at the border of your consciousness, yanking at you as you're moving through. This shouldn't be this hard. You're moving through caverns of spider webs, and as you're moving, trying to contact the Weaver, more and more of these webs attach, and they're pulling you back, and you feel just that weird. You know there's no spiders on you, but you can feel the itch, the tingle of things crawling on you, and it's gonna drive you mad. But then you feel the thorn in your pocket. It warms you up and pushes you through as you get to the other side, and you see the Weaver as you've never seen her before, as an old Yuan Ti woman sitting on a stone.
Mm. Well, I get 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
I will not waste them with what's going on with you necessarily, because they're simple questions.
Okay.
I'll take my breath and just say. So, we meet again. I have some questions for you. Very simple.
Does the nod of assent?
I know I'm kind of astrally projected or whatever, but I'm gonna dangle the bracelet. Should we use this, or should we get rid of it?
Yes. The yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant. Or
Okay, I'll say
unclear.
should. I see the confusion. Say, should we make use of this item?
Yes.
Okay.
I can choose different words. The DM says it says the GM answers each question with one word, such as I'm going to say it will be necessary.
Is it cursed?
Yes.
Okay. If we attune to it, will it bring us misery?
There's like a smirk on her face. We all face misery. And that you're taking that to mean unclear.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can we trust being with her?
Yes.
This last question is complicated. I understand. Do the best that you can. What should I do about Vela?
Love her. No, I.
Unclear.
Unclear. Put her body in a ditch covered in petrol on fire.
Not okay.
No,
Got it.
no. She says. There are. I can use short phrases, and some things are still free will.
Ask again later.
That's the trinket that I gave to Vela is the magic 8-ball, but yeah. But yeah, she's gonna say that's up to you. There's no harm or foul there.
Thank you.
Note the no harm. That's important.
As you sort of pull away, you get a better sense of the scene, and you recognize that she's in a webbing cocoon. She's sitting, and you've just been pulled through it. And as you pull farther back, you see other little cocoons in a web. Things trapped inside this web as you're pulled back away. And then you enter your body again. The thorn
What did he see?
kind of anchoring you.
What did he see trapped?
Well, if he's able to, I think Robes would be able to extrapolate, and he's got to choose whether or not he shares this with you. But he's able to extrapolate that other deities, perhaps, other
That was mine.
archdukes and archfiends and of the hells.
That was my interpretation.
Yep.
I will say that the Weaver is a triune god, so she's 1/3 of an aspect. So I have thoughts about that and questions for later.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. All right, so I will return to myself and tell Mary I am a full wit as usual. So
As full as you normally are.
I'm full of it, as you could say. But I appreciate you taking the time to spot me. But I have some things to do.
Was successful.
Somewhat.
Somewhat? You didn't get the answers you were looking for?
I guess you could say it as the mixed bag. She did say we could trust being with her.
And you trust your patron, like, implicitly?
No.
No. So when she answers these questions for you, how do you know they're, in your best interest or honest?
I don't. I guess you could say that I know that she wants to use me for her own purposes. So if she were to deceive me, it would be for her ends, but probably not to be my end, if you know what I mean.
She needs you alive to continue to do her work.
I think she does. I think at this point, she's picked me. She plucked me out of that city in Caesarine. For a purpose, good deal. And until that is done, I think that deal is on, so to speak.
So you trust her, but oh man, it's complicated. I don't know how you function that way. And I
She's
don't mean
like
that
with
as an
Galen.
insult. I really don't mean that as an insult. It's hard for me to think of trusting something that I can't trust,
Well, I'll tell you a secret, Mary. You never trust a person You trust their self-interests. Find out what they want, and then you know how to use them, how to understand them. I think I know what she wants.
That sounds like a lonely way to be, Robespierre.
It is, and that's how it worked with Galen. It's how it's worked at the court. It's gotten me this far. But I don't know. And I kind of like fiddle with Thorn a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe there's more to it. Maybe you can trust blindly sometimes.
certain people, maybe. I think you're wise not to trust everybody that way. I think I've trusted foolishly before.
You speaking of fuck. What's his name?
Baracus.
Baracus. I want to. Yeah, Baracus.
Yeah, yeah, Baracus is one. Yeah. Maybe it's good that we all stay together then. Because then, you'll see if I'm trusting the wrong person, that's for sure.
Maybe. Anyways, it is a long night. I'm going to get some rest. It's been a bit of time communing, and then I'll see you in the morning.
All right,
Appreciate it.
sounds good.
If you see Vela, let her know that I'm okay.
I will. I'll let her know. And I intentionally look for Vela to let her know that Robespierre is
Thanks, Mary.
All right.
And I am going to attune the bracelet.
Okay.
Ooh,
You
that's
spend
exciting.
a half an hour, right? Or is it an hour? It's an hour.
I think it's an hour.
An hour. You now have basically boots of spider climbing. You can choose now, if you have enough slots, to have Dimension Door with the Cloak of the Mountebank and also with the bracelet. By the way, it becomes very clear to you that you can choose the bracelet to be a bracelet or a diadem.
It's a diadem.
Like
A
a
tiara.
Around like a tiara.
it's
Ooh.
it's a head bracelet.
It's like the thing from the Neverending Story where she has the pearl at the front, but without
Yeah.
it doesn't need to have the pearl.
Yeah.
Or it's like the thing Galen Primewater's lady friend was wearing.
Also
Does
Yeah.
she have a diadem on?
Yep.
I didn't
She
hear
had
that
a
part.
tiara,
Oh.
So
but
just double checking. I do have an attunement slot.
Ed, I'm gonna just call it. I'm not gonna make a roll. When you guys saw the picture of her, you ID'd it as one of the bracelets.
so it had the spidery
Yep.
spider silk look to it.
Absolutely. She was wearing a spider bracelet on her head. What? No, thank you. So,
Is this a real item? Or not a real item. Is this an item in the D&D Beyond?
sure
Or do I need
isn't.
to add this?
Sure isn't. I will create something and
Not yet.
give it to you, but
No worries.
because it has other abilities. It's for those who follow the critical role, it's like a vestige of divergence. So its powers grow.
Interesting.
Um so yeah, you feel very comfortable with it. In fact, it feels really comfortable.
I'm gonna attune it as a bracelet
Okay.
and just kind of like shimmy it up underneath my like frilly
The
gambeson thing that
Yep.
going on,
Yep.
so no one can see it.
Okay. It stays actually where you put it.
It's like a slap bracelet.
Yeah, but not. So you push it up and it
Ooh,
just fits itself to where you were. So it
nicely.
goes on loose, and then when you push it up there, it goes to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You are now attuned to one of the portals of Loth. All right.
Having communed earlier today, before bed, I'm going to commune selfishly.
Okay.
Uh,
Adult.
with my own questions. Yep.
Okay.
So I'll just ritually cast it just in case something comes up over the course of the night. So I'll spend 10 minutes 10 minutes prepping.
Fine.
Um
You have those 10
and
minutes.
okay. Will I ever convince Carloman to walk the moral path?
I don't have to give you yes, no's, or others, do I? I just have to give you an
You give me
indication.
a yes or no or unclear.
Unclear is what you get back from Dalt, and the unclear means I'm not sure what morals you mean.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. My second is, am I in danger of becoming a cultist?
No.
Well, that's
The
reassuring.
aboleth would have said the same thing.
Boo. It's not help.
Ed wants the storyline to continue.
Ouch. And then, should I give up on Robespierre?
The phrase is you have your own free will.
Ah!
I'm
Okay.
not playing that game where the gods get to
Hey,
dictate
Paul
what
is
people.
like saying,
Yeah.
Paul is like, you guys decide. I'm not telling you what to
Well,
do.
I don't
I'm
like. I
really
don't.
enjoying making you uncomfortable, though.
No, as a world building thing, I don't think that God should. If the God actually cares about you, they're not going to actually tell you what to do in matters of the heart.
Aw.
My God doesn't care about me, so
Your God doesn't care about you, and your God gave you that answer to shut you the fuck up.
Ouch, man.
very accurate.
But Dalt actually does care about Vela, so
Aw. He loves me.
he doesn't have a ton of followers.
It's fair.
He's a small god.
Small
If you've
gods.
read the Pratchett, so. And if you haven't, you should. Just
Is he
saying.
trapped in a turtle?
He is trapped in a. He's, well, on the back of 4 elephants. Ever since the 5th elephant flew off and collapsed back onto the planet, on the disc. Anyway, so. You asked your 3 questions. Anybody else have any bedtime things they wish to do? Otherwise.
So, seeing what's going
Oh.
on, Nubin is going to lean up against the wall and he is going to commune with a flask of his beer.
Okay. Your own beer that you've got on you?
Yeah.
So you're at a pub drinking your own beer?
Yeah.
You're so hipster.
And I'm actually going to say to everyone else, man, she was right.
Do you want to do comparison tasting?
Ooh. Yeah, I'll order a flight.
Okay. And your beer is.
Since you've already called me a hipster, I'm going to order a flight.
Yeah, you order a flight, you get the really, cute, and you drink the flight, and in your own objective opinion, it's piss water.
And that's when I pull out my flask and I'm like, yep, it is pretty bad. Start drinking my own beer.
Everything there is sort of like a variant of Budweiser.
Hmm.
I'm gonna walk up to Nubin, and I'm gonna hold out my dragon vessel, drinking horn, and I'm going to say, "Try this one," and I'm going to summon the magical ale that it can do,
Okay.
and hand it over.
And Nubin's going to take this and look at it and be like, I need an upgrade. Takes a drink.
And is it always superior, or is it just an ale?
Specify it. I mean, it gains its power from sleeping in a dragon's hoard for hundreds of years. So I'd guess it's probably pretty good, but it doesn't specify in the description.
Let's give it a.
And
Let's,
does it have to?
let's
Does
give
it
it a
have to
coin
stay
toss.
in that drinking horn?
The drinking horn creates so it fills itself. So you could pour it out, but it just
Okay, so
fills one
I'm
drinking
gonna
horn of
pour
it.
it. I'm gonna pour it into my drinking horn and say, "Do it again."
Tomorrow.
Oh,
It's once a day.
okay. Well, I'll pour half back in there, and then we'll share.
Ed, flip a coin. If it's 1, it's better than Emperor Ale. If it's a 2, it's on par, but not quite. All right. It's a really good beer. It's a really good beer. But the monks have spent centuries creating Emperor Ale. And even a dragon would like to have Emperor Ale in their hoard.
Well, next time we'll have to try the mead.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. I think now's a good time for a bio
Well,
break.
cheers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
was just gonna say a little cheers to Alva, and we're gonna sit there and drink together.
Sounds good. So Mary helps Robes. Anything else Mary wants to do? I'm sorry, you kind of got. Do you have anything you
No.
want to do separately?
Nope, just go to Vela and let her know everything was okay, and then I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
Wait, why did I think everything was not okay?
Well,
Now you've got me nervous.
I'll just say because he told me to tell you that he's okay. He did the contact on the planes thing, and it's okay. He's well. I don't know. He specifically said to let you know that.
Are
So.
we all in the same vicinity? Like,
No,
can I
you
hear you?
No,
guys
I'm
are
in
in the
my room.
you guys are in the common
Yeah.
room. You and Elva are in the
Damn.
common room drinking beer. The rest of them are going in between bedrooms. Like I'm foreseeing like a hotel sort of situation where you're like
Right.
knock knock
okay.
knock 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 knock
They're
going in
actually hanging out of lockers and saying, "Hey, Vela."
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, band camp is perfect, Winston. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm picturing going on up there. Well, the cool kids are drinking beer in the yeah. Anyway, so that's
Which brings me to my joke: a demon and an angel walk into a bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's super fun.
So there's a whole bunch of people in the bar very confused.
It's true. Yeah, a tiefling and an Asim are hanging out drinking beer.
It's a Xerophil and
It's good omens.
Should we
yeah.
give them?
Aw.
Should we give them a real show?
Oh, a reveal show.
Should we give them a real show?
yeah.
I'll activate my radiant presence and the wings come out and everything.
Oh
And
my
the
God,
halo
you
just
do look like
glows.
good omens because he can take out the horns come out.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was just thinking the same thing. The hood goes back.
Awesome.
And then you guys
I'll,
cheers.
Just kind of chilling.
I'll use the racial ability to cast light on the drinking horn, so that like the liquid in it is just radiating this golden light.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
All right.
I love it.
I'm going to call it a night unless anybody's got anything else. Not call it a night for the game, but call it a night on this game night. And then
I feel like that's appropriate. It's only going to go downhill from here.
nope. And we will pick it up with you guys. You have 5 horses, I believe, if I remember correctly, and these will show up in the chat. Or
We need to name them. That was the last task we were tasked with
and
last
I am
game.
looking at the names of the horses that you guys have, because some of them ate it.
Yeah, Scrappy. Scooby. Scooby was my horse. It ate it.
Okay, so Scooby is no more,
hmm
and Scrappy is no more. So you still have.
That's awful. I forgot you named your horse Scrappy Ropes.
So you have Beautiful Wind, Gary, and Initiative. And you have 2 more horses to name. But we'll do that when we
And
come back.
I totally forgot something. Can we retcon something kind of silly?
Sure.
Newbin wanted to get some long leather strapping.
What?
For wrapping to fill in.
That
Nope.
sounds dirty.
It's like a rope, but it's going to be leather strapping because
Okay.
he's going to make something while we're out and about.
Okay. Yeah, you can totally get that. Probably 5 silver.
All right.
Insight check from Dusty on Tony.
A gimp suit. Yeah. Ooh.
A gimp suit.
Everything ties
no.
together, and it all comes back to the gimp.
Every time. It always comes back to the gimp.
It doesn't. The gimp is dead. You guys killed him. It's over. So.
Poor thing.
All right. We're going to take a small break. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thanks, everybody. And here we go. We'll be right back.
Toodaloo.
right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. We just finished our break and we're coming back. Morning has broken, as Cat Stevens would sing, and you are all long rested. I don't think there's a lot of benefit to that. Some of you did cast some major spells in that time in this exploration RP that we've done for the last couple sessions, but you are all have the benefits of a long rest. You have procured 2 more horses. I believe the horses that you still have with you are Initiative and what did I say? Initiative, Beautiful Wind, and Gary. Um, you are able to procure 2 more horses. Who is riding Gary?
Oh, Nubin's riding Gary for sure.
All right. And who's riding Initiative?
No, I'm sorry, Nubin. We're talking about horses now.
uh, who's riding
Oh man,
Initiative?
and I bought that strapping and everything.
No. Who would like to have Initiative as their ride, as their
Whose horse was Initiative?
I
Yeah, initiative was somebody's.
think
Chorus.
it was Cora's. So Cora took it. Actually, you guys need 3 new horses because Cora rode
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I had 3 listed
Yeah.
on my thing. That's why we
Yeah.
were getting 3.
Okay. So yeah, Initiative's gone. Deleted. All right. So you have 3 horses. So who's on Beautiful Wind is Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's my horse.
so you have 3 other
Is
horses.
this like a farting horse? Is that why it's beautiful wind? I'm confused.
Oh, she asked
No,
the horse's
Nubin,
name.
it runs like the beautiful wind.
Oh,
It's
okay,
horse.
that's way less stinky.
But why don't
Thank
you
you.
ride behind it and we can kind of test you?
All right, so that means that Elva and Vela and Robespierre have horses to name.
Mine's easy. Scrappy 2.
Scrappy 2.
Not cool. Not cool, Robes. Not cool.
You're probably on like your 4th or 5th Scrappy at this point. Rats only live like 2 years.
Elva
It's
meets
been a
a
couple months.
Elva finds a sort of orangish brown haired like horse and names it Emberglow.
Nice. Okay.
I take whatever is given to me and I name it Artax.
Oh.
We're all gonna be heartbroken when that one dies.
All right. Where did these horses show up when I threw them in here? I imported horses. Where did they go?
I
There we
have a
go.
horse that I can use.
There we go. All right, so this horse is now named Artax. And this horse is now named... What did you say, Ed?
Emberglow.
Emberglow. Okay. And Scrappy 2. All right. So, those horses I'm going to pull into your party and I'll assign them to people. But you guys ride off into the first day. It is Mary looks at the map that was drawn for you and estimates you have about a 4-day travel to the west. So I will need. You guys can tell me whatever you want to do on those days, or we can kind of fast forward through them. But the first day is through towns, and it just in the sort of in the interest of moving the story along, I'm going to say it's sort of a drizzly summer day. You guys are able to make decent progress through it, but you don't run into too many people as you're going through these sort of suburbs of Neodra. Um, and so, uh, sort of a slow going day. The next day, unless there's something you want to do that night, you guys tell me if there's anything that you want to be doing, like contacting people through planar stuff or anything on these nights. So just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to move us through day after day after day because I don't want to drag it out. On the second day,
Well, Paul, I'll say this. I won't do this narratively because I don't want to drag it out either. But I would probably, after the first day of us being out of the town, have used the dream spell on the spy master just to check in.
all right, please pop the dream spell into.
Yes. And it's pretty extensive. And basically, hold on, pack slot. And I would do this at night before we went to sleep.
Yep.
So I'm doing the non-hostile version.
Okay.
So basically, like this first part about like convening with the subject.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do in that first conversation is just establish exactly what my intention is, which is just to create a safe space for discussion, because we can be observed if we talk too much over the stones or in person or letters. This is a pure conversation point.
You get right in because I rolled a 1.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in, and we won't role play it out just too much. Just be
Yep.
like, a king's vision. This is a dream, but I tell you that it is me really talking to you, just like I said. So this is a place to safely convene. And now there's no need for the politicking, worrying about observers or scryers. So share what you want. We will share what we want, but this is a safe space for us to have extended discussions. That is all.
She sort of draws lines around you. Like she walks in a square in the dream around you and is like seems to be dropping things to protect the space even further, and she goes, "Agreed. Please knock first."
I will do that. How about this? And I'll make like a door show up with like between us and
Okay.
in a wall, and I'll just be like, knock, knock, knock. Next time,
Ah, good manners. I appreciate it. Good night.
that's it.
All right.
Good night.
All right.
Um,
You've
One of the
established your-
things that Nubin doesn't really explain to anybody what he's doing, but you see that he is. And let me ask a dumb question first. Do we have like standard saddles on these horses, or is this like pre-saddle days, or?
I think they're kitted out to whatever your like. I think they put saddles on for people who don't have like animal handling and all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so with that leather strapping, Nubin is over talking to Gary quite a bit, and is just kind of hanging out with Gary, and you see him doing something with the strapping and kind of creating loops of the strapping on either side of Gary that kind of hang off the top, like
Okay.
long loops.
Not to get into his hooves or anything. They're just long loops hanging off the saddle.
Not that long, yeah. No, like they're like halfway down his side on either side of the horse, and then there's what looks like a longer like set of reins, but it's a loop that's tied around underneath Gary. But it sits up on top with Nubin, and Nubin would like hold this one.
Okay. So as the days go by, you all notice there's all this leather strapping attached to Gary, and Nubin's been spending quality time with Gary talking about as he's attaching this to him. So
Before we to that point, the first night out, Elva is going to find Nubin and summon the mead in the dragon vessel, which the mead can only come from it when it's stirring. So that's its rare equivalent. The ale came from the uncommon item. The mead comes from the rare.
Oh.
And we'll share that.
It is outstanding mead.
Yeah, Nubin is very grateful and enjoys the mead, and I'll even say that while he was kind of working, he might even have told Elva a little bit about vaulting.
Which is what?
And well, that's what the strapping's for.
You'll
Okay.
need to explain it to me. I'm not much of a horseman.
Horseback acrobatics.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you
So
might be
my
doing something like
acrobatics,
that.
my dexterity and my acrobatics is really high, but my animal handling is really low, and that's why I'm spending time getting to know Gary a little bit. Like I want him to
Getting to know
trust me.
Gary with some leather strapping. That's I get to know
Yeah.
somebody
But
really well.
I'm making sure that it's comfortable on him and everything, and that it's not going to hurt him when it's being used or anything like that. Like I'm really kind of
Okay. I'm gonna
spending
give,
time with it.
because you're spending so much time and being so patient, I'll give you advantage, but give me an animal handling check on
Okay.
putting these on.
Can I give him guidance?
You can.
I would see him working on it and walk over and give him guidance especially as he's doing the first few.
So advantage +4, plus 1d4.
Okay, so this is the advantage +4 then makes it 23.
1d4.
1d4.
A D4.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Makes it 23.
all right. Gary seems to get what you're doing, and you are able to intuit where to place these in such a way that don't hurt Gary, but are going to allow you to use your acrobatics as on your horse.
Yeah, so vaulting is the term for horseback acrobatics. And people do all kinds of tricks off the back of horses, it's like a real life thing. They probably would not. The leather strapping is kind of like training wheels for
Yeah.
vaulting.
Right.
But I want to be able to use it to be able to swing down to the side and use my hammer from the horseback.
Nice. Okay. That's clever. Totally on board with it.
During campfire time the first night, I would probably talk to the party about 2 ideas I had. One is, do we ever have an opportunity where it would be beneficial for one of us to look dead? Because I have this really cool spell where I can, for like an hour, make you look dead. Like totally and completely dead. Just for an hour. But I thought it
Vela,
might be helpful.
does it have to be one of us, or could you do this spell to yourself?
Ooh. I mean, I could do it. Yeah, I could totally do it to myself.
And Nubin would probably ask, what are the benefits of having a dead person in the party?
Well, I mean, it's like possum, like they don't attack a dead thing. If they think we're all dead, then like I could cast it on myself and they would think we're all dead, and then I would wake up an hour later and I could try and heal all of you.
Why would they think you're all dead if you're the only one looking dead?
Well, if everybody was dying and I couldn't get to everyone fast enough, I could cast it on myself and then we'd all look dead and then they'd just leave us be, maybe.
So what you
Or
mean
maybe
is
not.
the rest of us are dead, but you are the one that looks
This
dead.
is stimulating. You asked if I could cast it on myself. That's the only time I thought that might be useful. But I just
No,
thought it was an interesting option.
No, I think if we were trying to play possum, it'd be good for something if we were in prison. Say, hey, my
Ooh,
friend is
yeah.
dead.
Can
Please
you get rid of the
come see
body?
her or see him.
Trying
And
to
then you have
Yeah.
to
do a
dig
morgue.
out of a
maybe?
grave. What'd you say, Mary?
I just
It
said
could-
trying to sneak into a morgue, maybe.
Oh,
It could really help us sell the get help bit.
Totally. Totally. The other one that I thought might be useful tomorrow while we're on our way is there anything that would be helpful? So I have like I can draw like a symbol on stuff, and then if somebody that doesn't know the password tries to open it, it can like explode in their face.
Oh, I think Baracus did that once. Remember Nubin?
Oh,
The
Glyph of
book
warding.
that we opened?
yeah,
Yep.
I have
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Glyph of
that
warding
felt great.
is a great spell. That's a great spell if you're protecting something.
right. Which is what I'm asking. Is there anything that like, do we want to put anything like, Robes? Are you wearing that bracelet we got?
Nope, nope, nope. You would need to make
Why?
you'd need to make a perception check.
Make a perception check.
He
Let's see.
specifically said he was hiding it under his sleeve.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
maybe I'm washing up. I mean, I think there'd be times to see
Yep.
it for sure. Oh God, your perception's so good. I'm gonna say, Paul. Can I make a contested stealth check?
Yeah.
Or maybe a sleight of hand. It's the same.
Your choice. You're noticing her looking, and you do what?
Also, Vela's always looking at robes, so I feel like she should be having advantage.
No advantage, but you do see as you guys are at the campfire that Robes has attached the bracelet to his wrist.
I will bring
maybe
it up.
my shirt kind of gets pulled on something a little bit.
I will bring it up quietly, like, we need more fire. Ropes, will you help me find firewood?
Sure, I can do that.
And then,
subtle.
Like, you two going off on your own is going to make any of us wonder. I mean, we're just like, oh yeah, it's them.
Subtle.
Yeah.
I just want to ask about the bracelet, but it's going to make the rumors fly about all the other things.
For sure.
Actually,
Which is
I have a
perfect.
question. I do have a question. I need a retcon question from Paul.
Yeah.
When I do the contact other plane, does the person in the room hear what I'm asking?
No.
Because Mary was in the room.
That. Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool.
No.
Just good to know.
You are in.
I wouldn't know if it was like a pure mental.
Yeah, it's you're 100%. Your body, you go catatonic. Is the way I'm gonna rule
Got it.
that, and that's canon for this game going forward.
Yep.
When
cool.
I read it before, it didn't say anything about
Right.
being able to hear it, so I just
I'm gonna
assumed I
say
didn't.
I'm gonna say because of the way we did commune earlier, commune is out loud. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna say contact other
Okay.
plane is completely in your brain because that insanity thing adds a degree of internalness. I think.
And it's a planar thing too, so it kind of makes sense to me. It's almost like a astral projection kind of deal.
Right. That's how I think of it too.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, Vela. So you want to look for wood? Just get uncomfortable.
Vela starts having a small asthma attack. Well, actually, it was kind of a pretense. Me asking.
Oh shit!
No one saw that coming.
I'm making an insight check on this one.
Are you wearing the bracelet?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes. This thing is the thing, and I just kind of roll my sleeve down, just be like, yeah, I didn't want to cause any problems, but I wanted to keep it safe. I spoke with my patron. She said that we could use it. In fact, that we would have to use it. So she's keeping it close. That's all.
Right. Okay. Is there... So I have this spell, and I was going to ask the others about it, but it can make a sort of illusory sort of writing on things, and then if people who don't know how to use them try to use them, they can kind of explode in their face. And I thought I saw you wearing the bracelet, and I thought maybe it might make sense for us to put the glyph on the bracelet so that if anybody tries to take it off of you, it explodes at them. Maybe. It seems like it's a really powerful relic.
I would say that my first thought was that then it would explode on me. But my thoughts are, if they're taking it off of me, that's not a problem for me to worry about.
Yeah, I think that would be the case. Yeah.
All right, I'll unbutton my sleeve and kind of pull it down and be like, "All right, go ahead. Let's put it on this. As long as you teach me the passcode in case I need to take it off, right?"
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it tomorrow though, because I didn't know for sure we were gonna use it, so I didn't prepare it for today. But we can do it tomorrow. Maybe when we get up in the morning, you and I can go get firewood again, and then we can glyph it.
I think so. That's a good idea, but unfortunately, we better get firewood tonight. If we come back without any, I think it
Oh
will
yeah,
cause some
yeah. Well, totally. Yeah.
suspicions.
We're out here getting firewood. That's what we're doing. I just needed to
Mhm.
ask about the bracelet.
And that wood's on fire. So, go ahead and find some firewood and return to the group. Anything anybody else wants to do that evening? You are still in the suburbs right now because you guys said this is the first night. So you're exiting. There's these small towns that are, farm, 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 small town, farm, 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 small town. But you can see you're heading back into that sort of expanse where you face the Gorgons. This expanse
I
of
just think
just
it's funny that Paul, you totally tried to hand wave this like we weren't going to do anything, and we all had something we wanted to do.
yeah. No, I never think we're going to travel without something happening.
Yeah, for Vela, it was Robespierre that she wanted to do, but
Yeah, we got him.
It's really
You
bad to
clarified
have.
that because it was really subtle.
I have a cold right now, and every time we get to this like chest intense laughter, I'm like dying.
Aw.
Literally.
All right. So the night passes. You guys return. Apparently there are no comments, and that's fine. And the next day, I will need a weather roll. I will do it actually because I have a table. Um, so let's do a little summer weather and see if it slows down your travel or not. What does that mean? 56. Thanks.
Yeah, too bad it doesn't look like it actually referenced the table properly.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
did we ride through Boner each
Oh
on the way
no,
out?
no,
No,
you
we're
did
heading
not.
the other way out of town. We went through
the other way.
Catbrook.
Got it.
So
So can Mary be kind of filling in the map as we go? Not like on horseback, but just as we go, she'll be adding detail to the map. Is that okay?
absolutely.
Elva would happily help with that, just from the things she's able to remember clearly.
That sounds like a good project.
This really bums me out that this summer table doesn't work. Okay. Well, we'll say the 50s. It's probably a fairly nice day, and you guys are able to travel the full 30 miles, 60 miles on horseback. Um, and I will need a fateful D12.
I can do it. I'm feeling lucky here.
Start rolling 1. There you go.
All right. The day passes peaceably, but now you guys are going to camp in the evening, and you're along.
Wait, weird morning.
Yeah.
I cast glyph.
On what?
The thing.
The
Oh,
bracelet.
that's why.
You were gonna
That's why.
cast glyph on the bracelet?
That's what we were just talking about last night. While we were getting firewood.
Okay.
We were gonna.
Remember firewood.
Yeah. I guess I'm. All right. What glyph are you casting on it?
You were trying so hard to not hear what was being said.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, you should read
You really
the
should
end
read
of the
that.
end of the first paragraph of that, because Robes is going to explode.
Yeah. You don't want to cast glyph on that.
Oh, I guess he's not going to explode. It's just not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So it says you can refine the trigger so the spell activates only under certain circumstances or according to physical characteristics, creature kind, or alignment. You can also set conditions for creatures that don't trigger the glyph, such as those who say a certain password.
What is it?
But
that
it says
you-
if it's moved more than 10 feet, it just ends.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you can't put it.
Oh,
It's not
so
like
you're saying, like-
respective to the
You
object.
can't put it on anything that's carried.
That's moving.
That's lame.
Oh, I thought like 10 feet from his arm.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I was
it
thinking
doesn't say
relative.
that.
Yeah.
It says if it's moved more than 10 feet. So
Yep.
if his bracelet moves 10 feet,
So you
I
can't
think the glyph's
glyph.
gone.
You can't glyph an object that's in transit.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
That seems kind of an oversight, because like that'd be a cool use for it, is like you're doing like a wagon trail or something. But
Well,
So-
I
Good to
think
know
for
if
the
you could
most
use
part,
it-
it's supposed to be protecting stuff in your house. Like-
yeah. But what about the rotation of the planet?
Could
But
it
if
be?
you-
Uh-huh.
If I was just going to say, if we would have come across that book and had a way of moving it 10 feet before we opened it or touched it, like if a strong wind blew it 10 feet, or
Ooh.
then
Gust.
yeah, I mean that's helpful.
Before I open books
know?
anymore, I'm just gonna throw them 10 feet.
Just like use a
Play
10-foot
Frisbee.
pole and like send it going across the room.
That's my new strategy.
Like throwing a stick at the electric fence, like
So that's this kind of strategy that work on Casey at on Storm King's Thunder.
I had
So
like
would it
I had
work on-
cast I had Baracus casted on that book, thinking like Chris would think.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a book that's really important, and I'm gonna leave it in my room, I'm gonna cast shit on it, and that's
That makes sense.
Totally
Mhm.
Chris. So. he
Well, here's
would-
what's gonna happen. I'm gonna let Vela cast it anyways and not call attention to the situation.
Okay.
Be like, that's great. Actually, I wouldn't. She would know her spell better than I would.
Yeah, she
right?
would know that it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, she would know. That's true. Yeah.
So would it work like in the extra dimensional space that's inside the bag of holding?
That's a really good question.
Yeah,
It might.
I would think so, right?
Like if I wanted to glyph something in the bag of holding.
Yes, it would remain glyphed. Because it is staying where it is in that extra dimensional space.
But then if it got pulled out of the extra dimensional space.
And moved 10 feet.
It would blow up before that, though, right?
It would blow up before that if there weren't triggers. If there were triggers
Yeah.
associated, yeah.
I feel like we need like a physicist to help us understand.
We have one.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Thanks, Hon.
Who's a physicist?
Dusty was a
That
physics major.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We need like some like theoretical stuff about like alternate dimensions,
I did astrophysics.
astrophysics. I had
Yeah.
a friend that was an astrophysics PhD.
I was not an astrophysics PhD.
Okay.
I was an astrophysics major until my math didn't keep up with my major, so then I was an astrophysics minor.
I almost majored in physics. Oh, cool.
Okay, so I've now prepared the glyph spell for the day, in case there's anything we want to glyph in the bag of holding.
Just cast glyph on it when I die. It's like-
Mm,
Okay.
I
So,
will.
Listen,
I like this idea.
Vela, about that other spell you were talking about. You know how sometimes I can locate creatures or people or monsters or whatever? So if somebody looks dead because of your spell, are they dead in the sense of unable to be detected by those kind of spells? Because that could be another useful, like if somebody were trying to track us down or track a person down,
Oh,
if it
that's a good
makes
idea.
them read as dead.
interesting.
Appears dead to all outward inspection and to spells used to determine the target's status.
So that could
Yeah.
be useful.
And you know,
Yeah.
Jeremy Crawford says a corpse is an object and not a person, so locate person would not find them.
Well, that's what I was well, not the Jeremy Crawford piece. Okay, Meriwether doesn't know him, but she has used magic to try to locate creatures before, and has run into some issues, sometimes because they are no longer in the body they originally inhabited. But, so that could be a workaround if we ever needed to hide somebody.
Well, wouldn't we need to hide all of us? Well, I suppose probably Gellen's most likely searching for Robes, huh? So really,
I
we just
don't
need to
know.
pretend
It was
we
just
just need to kill Robes.
it, I don't know
Okay.
what kind of that might just be a joke between the two of you. I don't know.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
No, I mean, Gellin would be searching for Robes, right? Because he worked for him. He
possibly.
wouldn't be searching for us necessarily.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't thinking of any specific person searching for us. I just know that magic that I've used before. It, appearing dead might be a good way of blocking it if we ever needed to.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll swap out the glyph with the dead. Okay.
Okay. All right. I will ask if there is any, like, I don't want to drag this on. I'm just, like, as you guys travel, you have 3 more days. And I feel like we could just do a couple die rolls to see if those pass quickly for you.
I just have one thing I want to do the next night.
You got it. Go ahead. The next night. You
And
guys, this is your
I
second to
am
last night before you anticipate arrival.
I'm gonna find Noob when he's not working with Gary specifically, and I'm going to offer him the drinking horn and say, try this one, but it's a little bit spicy, and I'm gonna fill it with a potion of dragon breath.
How long does that stay with him?
It's like a minute
Oh, so he's got a minute to just do dragon
where he
breath?
can breathe fire. Yeah.
Oh, he throws it back and he's like, "Ooh, that's pretty good." Burps and a little bit of flame comes out. And he's like, "That's kind of neat. I could use that."
And shenanigans ensue because you have a minute of just sort of shooting breath out.
Yeah. A bird of leaves off of trees and stuff like that. Seeing how
I mean, it's
accurate I can
firewood,
be.
right?
Somebody give me a fateful D12 for this fire encounter.
I'll let this time.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Here it comes. Ooh, 11.
11. The
Oh, that's
night
good.
passes peaceably for you all. On the last day, you start to hear familiar sounds of drumming. And yet you don't see any signs of burrowing creatures coming towards you. You sense, perhaps, you are approaching the steading of the hill giants. Looking at the map, as Mary has drawn it from your instructions, you guys recognize that you are at the foothills of the Good Hills, and you're probably a half a day's ride. As you wake up, you have a half a day to the hidey hole that has been set up for you with fresh horses and um, rations for your horses, rations for you, and several arrows should you need them. And other, like there's swords and stuff if you guys want them. But it's just provisioned. Uh, but you have about a 4 hour ride in front of you. The hills are in the off to the west, which is the direction you're going in. The sun is behind you, rising in the east, and as you look, you can start to see the beginnings of a sketchy sort of wooden structure on top of the hills, sort of a Motte and Bailey fortification. As you ride closer, you are very aware of how open air you are.
We're just doing reconnaissance, technically, right?
That was your portfolio given.
Well, do we want to do some sort of stealth at this point?
I
Can
think
anybody do the invisible thing?
I can do this. Cast pass without trace. It'll
Okay.
make it a little harder to detect.
As long as you stay within,
Good.
what's the radius?
30,
30.
is it?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
30.
as long as you stay within 30 feet of each other. Yep.
And how many how many creatures can you cast that on?
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Well, if you take my horse,
Each
you can.
creature I choose within 30 feet of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I think it's actually fairly unlimited as long as it's. So you all get +10 to stealth from Pass Without a
Nice.
Trace.
And the horses can too.
That's true.
That's why I was asking.
Right.
I can make us invisible, but it only lasts for about an hour.
You have
Well,
about
okay,
3 hours, I think I just said, right? 3 to 4?
For
you said
Or
4.
4? Okay.
Well, would it make sense for me to? I have 4 hours of flight. I mean, we only have about 4 hours to go. Would it help for me to fly up invisibly and just kind of keep an eye out? And somebody else can just hold the reins of Artax?
perhaps when
Imagine
we
holding the
get
reins of
close.
Artax. Triggers me.
Sorry.
That's awesome.
I mean, we could do that, but Vela, the important thing is I can only keep you invisible for about an hour.
Well, I think flying up would be something they might notice, but if I'm just up there, are there any clouds in the sky?
Oh, why doesn't my summer thing work? I will say yes. There are some.
So once I get up there, or I could fly, how far does your invisibility reach?
I have to touch you to cast it, and then it
Oh.
is as long as I am concentrating. There's no
Well,
range.
I guess an hour of invisibility is better than no invisibility.
Perhaps if when we get closer, you could go up and scout.
Yes, yeah. The only thing
We
you
could.
can keep in mind is my juice is limited. I only can do that about 3 times a day, or 3 times a short rest. But if we can buy a short rest sometime closer to the hills, then I think it could work.
We can hear the drums already, right?
Yeah. You're, yeah. But you could hear them from a couple hours away in Good Sage as well.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to stay down here and just stay with till somebody says to go up.
Let's get about. My suggestion is we get about an hour out. I can give 4 of us invisibility. Mary, you could turn into a squirrel or a frog or something.
Or
And
another
I could
horse.
turn one of you into an animal, but well, I could turn 3 of you into animals, but you'd be above
What?
the scum as an animal. Oh, I can
That's
only
so
do it once.
fun.
Sorry. It's a concentration spell. I can only do it to one. So,
Oh man, that's too
sorry.
bad. I got
Yeah.
excited.
Ulva can fly for an hour, right?
Alva
Sounds
can
like-
fly for
No,
a minute.
I can fly for about a minute
Oh, okay.
once per day.
Okay. Well, my thoughts are we make it to about an hour closer. We will be about an hour away. Vela, I can make 4 of us invisible. Mary could turn someone into a squirrel, possibly herself.
I don't want to be a squirrel.
They
They don't run
could be.
I
very
would mention that the horses will not be invisible.
That's
Maybe
right.
Mary should be a horse. And then it can be like a herd of wild horses who happen to escape
With
their riders.
saddles and
Well, but Mary's horse wouldn't have a saddle, and maybe it would look like, this wild horse corralled these tame ones and helped rescue them from their oppressors.
The giants are not very intelligent. I don't think if they see horses running in the distance that they will notice the saddles. But maybe not. I don't know.
but they
We can
might
But I'm
make-
notice
also low.
the
Okay.
delivery of dinner.
That's true. They might want to eat them.
But if
Scrappy
Mary's,
too.
but if you're all still on them, it's not like you can't evade the giants.
They throw rocks, though. That's right. That's part of the problem.
Do you think they would throw
Right.
rocks at the dinner?
Good
Possibly.
point. They might
Well,
need to just grab it and chomp on it.
rocks could certainly end that chase rather quickly.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't have any food left. It would just be meat mash.
Hmm.
Do you think a giant wouldn't eat that?
I don't know. It sounds really unappetizing.
There's some extra meat on this horse mash. Tastes like furbog.
I just don't know that they would be able to salvage any meat. You know, it's
You,
like when you
have you
roll over and squash a walnut. It's not like you can get the walnut out of the walnut shell.
are you guys having
They've
this
s-
I
conversation while like stealthily moving under Mary's? Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
So
I'm
everybody,
not.
give me a stealth check at +10.
Mary, you're saying something?
I have to concentrate. Sorry.
You're like, shut up.
Okay. No. Oh, I was going to say, hill giants. I mean, I know a little bit about giants, and the giants that would be in my in the woods where I live. They weren't very smart, but these giants are organized, so I don't know if we can predict very well how they were going to respond. They seem to be on a mission. They destroyed my uncle's airship. I I do think we have to assume that they would throw rocks at us, even if we looked like dinner, if they think it's a threat.
I think that possibly. So let's just try to stealth up and maybe once we get into the keep, we can cast invisibility, or we could just go in and just start killing things. I don't know.
Like all of you are above 20 on stealth. So as you're moving, I mean Mary's at 34. So
Oh yeah, I didn't add the 10 in. I see
yeah,
some of you did the fancy
yeah,
math. Sorry.
yeah. So
Mary, wow.
like as this is, I mean I know grassland isn't Mary's favorite terrain. Although don't you have two at this point?
No,
Oh,
I'm only
because you have a
5 levels of
level in ranger,
ranger,
right? Okay.
so yeah.
Um, and so like Mary and her horse just sort of seem to find the shadows, and the other horses follow, and just tend to be just blending in a way that just the the colors on you desaturate, and you just seem little more like cloud cover on the ground as you walk through, and you feel like perhaps if you move slowly, you might be okay. But Mary just looks like grass moving. So you guys take
Bela's watching Mary with awe.
Beautiful wind.
as you get closer, you get to these sort of rocky terrain, and like all of a sudden the green tones that you'd sort of taken on become grayish, and you notice as you're stepping on these rocks that the tones are muted, and it almost sounds as the horse's hooves are clapping on it, almost as if it's just wind shuffling through and sticks rumbling down the hillside. You can see in front of you probably 200, not probably, around 250 yards up and to the west, uh, what was described to you as the hidden cave that you were given as a sort of base of operations. The drums are very loud, and you know that this cave is probably not is but maybe 500 feet under where the steading is.
So it took us 4 hours to get here.
Yeah,
Is that right? Okay. I will
technically you would
cast.
have to cast it again.
several times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an hour, so I used up my second level spell slots and a
Okay.
third level spell slot to get us there.
Okay. You get to the cave, and when you get in there, there's a young man who has clearly seen you coming, and he says, "Hi, my name's Hap. I was told you'd get here today or tomorrow. We have provisions for you. Uh, I'm kind of glad you're here. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks. Come on, come on. We have room, and there's horses in the back, and you see the sort of a cave entrance that widens out, and there is um, clearly provisions laid out for the management of horses and people for several weeks in here. Hap's been sort of overseeing it for the last couple days, and it doesn't take an insight check to show his nerves are shot. Um, he's thank God you're here. Okay. He just sits down and he just grabs a water skin and just chugging water and all right. Yeah, everybody in? Good. Okay. Welcome. Um, we're calling this Checkpoint Night Shaper.
Fun.
He said that to us that
Yeah.
this is called. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Hap.
Hi. Uh,
Um,
I'll,
your clothes look a little bit rough. Has it been a tough time here?
oh no, I mean, I well, but yeah. Um, it's
I
yeah.
walk forward and cast and like pat him on the shoulder and cast mending so that any like all like the wear and tear on
Yeah.
his clothes kind of
Oh,
taken away.
well, that's real nice. Thanks. It's just hard with all the drumming. They don't stop. They take like 10-minute breaks and then somebody else starts drumming and it's hard to sleep here.
Have there been creatures that have been summoned by the drumming? We saw some burrowing creatures respond to the drums before.
He nods. He goes, "Yeah, I've heard. My orders are if I see anything to hightail it. But I haven't. I haven't seen anything here. Um, I'm not sure what the drumming is about here. I know what's been happening to the south and to the northeast, but it hasn't done it here.
Does it sound like a similar like pattern, a rhythm?
Nah,
Rhythm's the word.
yes, but it's not quite as deep. Like it almost feels a little bit more like a pale reflection of what you heard. Not as booming. Um, and yet it carried over the grasslands. But you can make if go ahead and please make me an animal handling check or a nature check, Mary. Your choice.
Either one?
Either one, your choice.
Okay.
Okay. It occurs to you that there's a distinct possibility that they're trying to get something started here, but those creatures don't live in this area. Um, they've been successful in other places, but it's not working here.
That would make sense then. If the animals don't live around here, they would be too far away to hear it.
Well, I'm not going to complain about that. Smoke him if you got him. Um, um, so you guys are gonna go up top, huh?
Guess that's the plan, right? That's why we're here.
Okay, so people have been arriving every day. Um, all kinds of strange things. Like 2 days ago, a cloud just descended, and I heard something I had never heard before, just so loud, and then lots of greeting and cheering, and then uh
All right, I'm going to interrupt you. People have been arriving here or there?
there, not
Oh,
here. No, they don't know we're here that I know of. That I know of. They don't know we're here. Um, but up top.
gotcha.
Yeah. Um,
People?
I
Like real people, not like giant people?
I guess giant people are people too, but um,
Yeah,
The
I
more
didn't mean
specific
to
you can
imply they
be,
weren't.
right? But if you can be specific, that gives us a little bit more. Because when you said people have been arriving, I thought maybe refugees were coming into the cave, you
oh
know.
sure,
But no,
no,
you're
I get
saying
you.
a cloud descends from heaven. That's a
Yeah,
completely different story, right, Vela?
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let me clarify then. Yeah, giant people have
Uh-huh.
been arriving on the top. The cloud was the weirdest one, but there was about I guess maybe he just sort of not that day. Oh, maybe four. Maybe they're starting to blend together. I thought I was gonna be made for sure. I heard rumbling down deep in the hills, and then uh, they didn't come through here, and I scampered out because I didn't want to get caught, and I saw just two large giants, that bigger than the other ones that have been living here, just walk in there as well, and I just it looks like they're having a conference. I don't
That's
know,
fun.
but the most recent arrivals was a human man and might have been a human woman. She was beautiful.
And the
Oh
man.
no.
What?
And
I
the
think
man.
we
How would you?
know. I think we know who he was.
He's beautiful too.
Did she have a cape like
Yes.
mine?
Do you make your cape pillow?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, love this cape so much. Why'd she go and ruin it?
Oh, Vela, dear, she doesn't have to ruin it. You can make it your own.
You can make yours billow the other way
And into me?
to the other side of you. You can have it flap in the breeze.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can have it blow over you if you want, but that seems kind of odd.
Uh-huh. But right now it goes straight back. So,
No, no, it
I-
was a little more subtle than that. It was more of a fluttering thing.
okay,
See,
good.
you can make yours stand straight out.
That is surprising because
Superhero.
Vela is usually incredibly subtle.
Uh,
Uh-huh. And the guy, was Gellin, wasn't he?
I, I, who?
Yeah, it was
Most
Gellin.
likely. Yeah.
That was 2 days ago.
How many giants do you believe are up there?
Oh, with their oh, between the giants and their ogres and everything else, somewhere. The, I mean, there are children too. 40, 50 more.
40 giants?
Yeah, the wolves might be a problem too.
Guys, what are we doing here?
We're supposed to see why they're organizing and put a stop to it.
Right.
Well, one step after another.
Uh-huh.
Even if we could just figure out what their purpose is, that would be more information than the king currently has.
Right. Do you think we need to be... So, do they know... have you had anybody interact with them at all?
I, I, I'm sorry. I've been here mostly alone. What?
Just you?
Well, I mean, we come in shifts. I've got like 4 more days, and then I get to leave.
How long have you been here?
I've been here 6 days.
Oof, 10 days by yourself?
It's not ideal.
Listening to drumming from overhead nonstop monotonously with
I
no idea whether or not these people are going to descend into the cave you're living in? What are they trying to do to you?
I feel like you understand me on a level that I haven't been heard in a while.
At least 6 days.
Vela, maybe you should try to reassure him rather than scare the shit out of him.
He doesn't. He's already scared for good reason. This is ridiculous. Hap. Okay. It'll be all right. We're here now. You're good. You're not alone.
Yeah. No,
When
this is
when
great.
this
You guys want
human
to play Jenga?
when this human man and woman arrived, which direction did they come from?
Uh, it seemed like they came from the east, from the city, from Nildra.
Hmm.
Moving quickly.
They were incredibly mobile if they were in the Jotuns 4 days ago.
Well,
Aren't
and
we in the foothills of the Jotuns?
We're in the foothills of the Good Hills. They're another several days from here.
They.
The Jotuns.
Yep.
Okay, I was confused. Got it.
It is confusing.
So he
If
was
the
in the Jotuns
vision,
and then came back?
if the vision that we saw was accurate, he was in the Jotuns 4 days ago, and 2 days ago he came to the Good Hills from the east, which means he traversed them first.
Elva. Elva is obviously is an Eldritch Knight. Would know that there's, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, I'm commenting on
Yeah.
how mobile he is,
Yeah.
not on that being impossible.
Not just it being impossible, but also um, traversing might take a very different means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was bringing it up to
No,
pinpoint just how mobile he is.
I think it's great. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. Yeah, I wasn't. That you're very aware now that he's moving by magical means. You are super aware of that. So.
hey, well, and I'm sorry because I'm slowly looking through my notes here, but we had heard it must have been from the king
He
or
was.
somebody about that Gellin had been in the town at some point
Yep.
too. So it's like all within a pretty short period of time.
Very short period of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even just the fact, like Mary wasn't with them when the scrying happened, but she was searching because it sounded like he had been in the city just a few days ago and he
Yep.
was already in the Jotuns. So if they would have had that any conversation, I don't know. I don't think we did, but
No.
if this is happening now, I think Mary would confirm too that yeah,
Yeah.
something isn't
He's
adding
moving
up.
by very magical means. Yes.
Right.
So I do not know Prime Water, but you all do. Do you suspect he has that power, or is this his companion that's ferrying him around?
Galen did not
Okay.
have that sort of power before. I used to work for him directly. At least not openly. That was not his abilities. But after some interactions with him, I think that he has made a deal.
It may be cautious to assume then that she is a magic user of some power.
Possibly, but I wouldn't rule out that Galen has some sort of abilities as well.
And we know that she's in possession of an artifact that could give significant additional power.
We do.
Wait, what artifact?
She has one of the bracelets she's wearing as a
Oh,
diadem.
right. Ah, right. The diadem. Hap, how many giants did you say were up there?
I mean, if you count the kids, like between 40 and 50.
That's so many giants.
I
Chris,
think
it's so
I
many
think there's
giants.
an underground too.
They brought their children.
Yeah, yeah. There's whole families up there.
That
Why? Have you been able to figure out why?
No, no. This is weird. Like historically, the hill giants just are nomadic. Building a fort, creating a fiefdom, creating all of this. This is not.
To be fair, the why is our assignment.
This is
Right,
true.
it's just figured if Hap already figured it out, like it's just
Yes, this is what's
We're done.
happened. You guys can go.
Yeah. Just in case. Figured it was worth asking.
Campaign over. We're done.
Huh.
Good job.
Funny.
Huh. So have they thrown any rocks since you've been here?
A lot of rocks have been thrown.
Do you know what they landed on? And did they like follow up on the rocks to get food?
Seems like sport. Seems like a game.
Huh.
So, what exactly
It's
is
nerve-wracking.
what
Yeah.
exactly is our mission with all this?
We're supposed to figure out why the giants are here
What
and
are,
report back to the king.
they've been attacking towns using this drumming, but also they attacked Mary's ancestral homeland as they were wandering from east to west. There is some concern that there are more giants gathering, and that you just had that confirmed by Hap that there are other giants gathering here. So, is there a major threat to Keeland from the giants? And if you can stop it, great. But mostly, can you find out what's going on?
So, I mean, I know that I'm like working force and you all are kind of like upper level, but have you ever heard of this thing called a union? Like, you get a bunch of people together who all feel disenfranchised, and then you all work together to claim rights that you feel like nobody's giving you because they think you're wimpy. I feel kind of like that might be what the Giants are doing. I mean, nobody thinks they're wimpy, but everybody
No.
kind of treats them bad.
Well, I mean, for the most part, nobody was treating them anything. Um, I mean, they they were. I mean, I guess. Gosh, if you push me on it, I mean, like they were in the Principality of Ayuz, and that can't be great. Um, but it wasn't like, we were going after them or anything.
Is it possible that they are migrating?
It's definitely possible. Maybe they're just looking for a place to hang out, but it also seems like they keep it like from a distance attacking our towns with all these burrowing creatures, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What I was told, and you can see now that he has like, and I'm gonna sort of retcon this a little bit, but you can see that he has like a little badge on him that you recognize from being on the desk of the spy master. So he's in her core. Um, and so he's got a little more information than the average guard guy does, but he's really low ranking. So he would say, our understanding is that whatever's being organized here is being organized by something. The Hill Giants just don't do this. Maybe they are. Maybe they're tired of it. I don't know. I kind of I empathize. I also don't know that I want all the people in the towns around the Good Hills to be killed.
What I think I was getting at is that maybe it's complicated. Maybe the giants themselves are being manipulated,
It's
misled.
possible. It's possible.
Maybe they're not naturally the aggressors, but this skeleton and this woman he is traveling with have taught them to leave their poor conditions in a use. It's possible.
It is possible. I don't know. I I I know I'm supposed to watch. I'm supposed to keep my eyes open for things. I'm supposed to report back. I'll be here for 4 more days.
You know what is under this area? I mean, in Saltmarsh, we were able to go deep, deep down below the ground and found a city down there. Do we know what's under this mountain?
I will tell you, Mistress Furbolg, that it is there are tunnels that I have seen here that could go really deep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the capacity myself to explore them, but there could be much more under the good hills than we know, yes.
Because I'm wondering, Robespierre, um, isn't Galen looking for the same things we are? That's connected to that spider thing? And wasn't the spider lady the one that was attacking? I don't remember the name of the city. Where your first boyfriend was, Vela.
What? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Limasha Duel,
Chalagala.
Yeah.
Beautiful eyes, right?
Oh, yeah.
the Dreamy Drow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was in Limasha Duel.
Mhm.
So what you're saying that maybe there is more of these? Actually, I know I wouldn't do that because you wouldn't know any more of these bracelets under the mountain.
I don't know. Maybe.
It does seem like the goal is to bring them all together.
He was
Certainly worth.
so dreamy.
That poem, Vela. That poem.
Right.
It's right there.
Shame
Aelrud,
that you
right?
had to
Is
be
that his name? Aelrud? I don't remember. It
Oh,
doesn't
such
matter.
a waste.
It doesn't matter. Because he
Just-
dead.
I tried to save him, but
It's true. It's true. It was the day. Never mind. Okay. So we're digging underneath here. That's what I heard,
Are
right?
you over him now? Moving on to someone else, Phala?
I I was never under him. Didn't need to get over him.
Okay. Not
So we're
what I was
digging.
asking,
We're digging.
so
but
moving
okay.
on. So under the mountain. So you think that maybe there's a pathway, Mary, that we should investigate? Some cave system.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to put the pieces together to see what Galen might be doing here with these giants. And for some reason, it just made me think of the spider. What they were like. We were attacked by driders.
Driders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Striders, yeah.
So it wouldn't be unnatural to kind of.
Well, we
Not-
found
not
the
at all.
spider. We
Okay.
found the spider cultist there. That's where we got
Mhm.
like we have a belt with the Lolth symbol on it from the cultist there.
Right. And
Yeah.
they were being attacked by somebody who was coming from another place.
Yes.
So I didn't know if this could be maybe the other place or another other place. I don't know.
The place was. Hold on. I can never pronounce this right.
I mean, I have it right here on my map, and I would read it off, but
I don't think it shows up
Just kidding.
on the regular
No.
map.
Do you think, Mary, if you turned into a bat, that you could use echolocation to like find small, tiny caverns, like fly back in this cave and then maybe find little cracks and nooks that might lead us somewhere else?
I could, possibly. I mean, I
You
could.
could try tonight, and if it doesn't lead anywhere, then it's not no harm.
Right. I would be willing to try if we think it's useful. I don't I don't have a plan beyond just saying things that seem connected in my mind. My intelligence is not as high as the others in the party. It was
Could
just more an intuitive connection.
I was under the impression that you had told us previously that you haven't yet mastered the ability to turn into something that
Oh,
flies.
that's right. Sorry. I can't fly. Thank you, Ed.
hope.
I was my brain is trying to piece together things, and so I can't be a flying creature.
What about
I can
a
burrow.
mole?
Yeah, I can do burrowing creatures
Oh, that would be a
and
great idea.
badgers and stuff.
A badger. You could dig so fast.
Um, possibly. I mean, but if these passageways are already there,
What? Oh. Valen reaches behind and her back and pulls out this little gray bag. I mean, I could just pull one out of here and I mean, we could just do all three and maybe one of them will be a giant badger and then we could just tell it to dig. And then if it comes across another tunnel, then we're good. And if it doesn't, then we've got a giant hole to hide in.
I mean, I could be a bat, or you could be a bat, but it wouldn't be a very smart bat.
That
And I hear
bag
they like
smells
bread.
of fey magic, and it's likely capricious.
I have
Super
okay, so
capricious.
I can't wild shape into a bat, but I have polymorph. I could turn somebody into a bat,
Got it.
but then they would just be a bat.
Right.
Like they
With
would
the
not be
intelligence
smart.
of a bat. Yep.
So
Yep.
like I don't know what we would do with the bat that doesn't have a very smart brain.
And
I
Hap,
love this idea so much.
Hap, you have thoroughly explored this cavern. Does it connect to anything deeper, or is it self-contained?
Oh no, this one actually does have some tunnels going lower. I have not thoroughly, as you say, explored them though.
But
What, ab-
understood.
I
what
mean,
about what
they
about
don't. They appear to be abandoned, or at least, if occupied by creatures that don't wish me harm, because I've been here for 6 days, and
Do they
the person
do they
before me
appear
was here for
passable
10.
do they appear passable to persons our size?
Um, at first, yes. But they do appear to narrow quite a bit. Um,
what about if we send Katha down?
Gotha can cover some ground, certainly.
We could just keep walking behind you or with you until we run into like a space where we can't go, but Katha could reach, and then see if it's worth excavating.
I'm certainly willing to try that. Katha does not see well in the dark.
What about if we gave Katha a little tiny headband with light cast on it?
Then Katha will be incredibly visible to anything in those caverns.
But if Katha dies, then you just bring Katha back, right?
Correct? But it ends our scouting mission quickly.
That's Katha's scouting mission.
Don't we
I'm
have a
not
mouse with us
discounting the
somewhere?
idea.
What about Scrappy? Would he be able to do this?
Yeah, but he doesn't talk to me very much. We're just kind of,
I
know.
mean, I can speak
like-
with animals. Do you think he'd speak with me?
I pull Scrappy out of my pocket. What's up, Scrappy? I know we haven't talked in a while, but this Mary, you've met Mary.
he's
Do you want to go exploring?
he's side-eyeing Robespierre the whole time, and then looks over at Mary, and he's like, calmed by the fact that he's in your hand and looking at Mary, but very nervous about Robespierre being there.
I give him a little wink.
Oh,
Ropes not cool. Take a couple
Who's saying
steps
hello?
back. Uh, Don't worry.
I'll have my
Walk
own, thank you.
up,
I'll
like,
pull one out of the hat of
don't,
Ermin.
don't.
Oh!
and then cover. I
He's
covered
just
Scrappy's
watching one of
eyes
his
before it
kin get
happened.
ill.
I covered his eyes before it happened.
Scrappy is terrified.
I will leave the vicinity. I'll go check on Scrappy too.
Don't eat him.
Okay.
Does he
Scrappy's
have
out.
the ability to see in the dark?
No.
I'm looking up rat,
pretty sure
and I don't
rats
think they have
don't.
dark vision either.
Does anybody have light? Doesn't Elva have light?
Right,
Yes.
But it's only
same issue with Katha, right? Like if there's light on the creature, they're going to be visible. It's not
Between
a
the
very stealthy.
two of them, Katha is a better substitute for scouting because, as you say, if Katha is devoured, I can resummon
Right.
her.
Mhm.
Well, what about if Katha and Scrappy go, but Katha has a light on, so they wouldn't notice Scrappy because Scrappy would be in Katha's shadow, and that way we would have 2 eyes. Well, 4 eyes technically. 2 pairs. I mean, we
It's
don't need
certainly
to.
a
We can just say
possibility.
Katha.
Hap's like we or I mean, okay. Um I thought you guys were here for the Giants, but okay.
Well, we are,
You're
but
in charge. You're in charge.
my question is whether these tunnels, if they connect to a larger cavern system, might allow us a way to infiltrate the steading
That's a good question.
unseen. So
Okay.
it seems worthwhile to scout them.
Okay.
I would agree with that, Elva, because I think we're not just going to be able to ride right on up there. I think we have to find a different way in. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, what I'm gathering, and I don't know this for sure, but I think there's going to be a party tonight.
Of the
'Cause,
Giants?
yeah.
Here, do you think that would be a bit conspicuous?
He means here. He's like,
We
just saying.
Yeah.
we are a party, but we're not having a party.
No, I think the Giants are planning a party tonight.
You get us on the guest list.
No. I don't have that kind of pull, but if you are willing to work the hors d'oeuvre circuit, uh, no,
I'd be concerned that we'd be the hors
I
d'oeuvres.
was just gonna. Oh, you beat me to it. But you would be the hors d'oeuvres. But no, he's like no, but I guests keep arriving and ale keeps arriving in very large quantities.
Well,
Hunting
Newbin might be
parties,
interested to find out what kind of ale it is.
hunting parties keep coming back with larger and larger bits of meat, venison, whatever. So I think something big's about to happen, and could be tonight.
That could give sufficient cover for us to scout a bit if they're all busy with their celebrations.
Are they normally more active in the daytime or in the nighttime?
Oh, they seem to be more active during the day. They don't have um like I personally don't have any ability to see in the dark myself, but I know many good folk do. They don't seem to have that ability, so they're a little more active during the day. If you guys want to, here's where the tunnels are. If you want to send something through them.
I do think that's a good idea, at least to get an idea of whether or not it's even an avenue we can pursue.
Sure. Are you going to send Kava through?
Sure. Yep, I will do that.
Okay. Is Kotha getting any kind of light?
Yeah, I will have her carry like a pebble with light on it so she can drop it if she needs to.
Okay. And then you go into Kotha's
Yep, I'll shift my
consciousness.
vision in.
Okay.
Can we turn Katha invisible as well?
I was thinking about that. I'm not there at the moment, but I would offer that.
Far away. I would have, as soon as we opted for no scrap, yeah, I would have tucked him away and asked you to come back.
Okay.
I don't
say,
know if you can turn a familiar invisible. I'm assuming you can.
Well, is it a creature?
It's a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
If it's a creature, I can.
All right. You can cast invisibility on it.
Would you like me to do that?
Man, it seems a good idea. Then there'll just be a floating light flying around, and well,
All
it'll be
right,
easier for her to avoid conflict.
How long can light go away from you before it is out of range?
It just lasts an hour.
Okay.
No restriction on distance.
So Katha flies through the first, and I'm assuming Elva's going to describe this to the rest of the party as what she sees.
Yep.
Katha flies through the first, and the pebble's not going to give a ton of light. So basically, the first thing is...
I mean, it's the light spell, so it's 2020.
2020, but that's, I mean,
Yeah.
these caverns are enormous once she gets through the first tiny, and so she has to fly around the circumference of these massive caverns as she starts descending. And the descent, as you're describing it, well, the four of you are familiar with this sort of descent into what you experienced as the Underdark. But it's, Katha's making choices. Go left, okay. She goes down, and so the light spell, you've got maybe a half an hour, and she maybe has a half an hour back to fly back. And what you...
I don't need her to fly back because I can just
Okay.
click her out and then resummon her here.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and do the full hour out.
Okay. She's just making left and right choices. I guess you can communicate with her, right?
Yep.
So there's lots of different choices, lots of different permutations, and so there are times when there's dead ends and she flies back and goes down the other side. And you can kind of map it out in your mind, but after an hour of exploration, you know that this is going to go down much, much farther than what he's talking about with the subfloor of the potential setting. That this is going into a whole nother place. And it's abandoned as far as you can tell. But towards the very end, right about the time you're going to blink her out of existence, you hear this sort of voice go, "Oh man, that's wild. Is that like a lizard bird? Or am I
She's
just...
invisible.
Oh, she's invisible. No, they can't see her. Nope.
But it's a floating light.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, that's a glowy ball. Trippy, dude. Man, we are totally tripping on ourselves. And
there's mushrooms up here too.
and the Kasha looks down and sees a circle of mushrooms, all just looking at her, tripping balls, looking. Man, that's fucked up.
Then she will drop the pebble toward them just as the spell's about to go out.
Yep.
And then I'll blink her out.
But that's an hour of traveling left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
That's an hour of traveling at a fly speed of 50
Yeah.
without having to deal with any obstacles or difficult terrain.
Yep. I mean, it's a bunch of twisty caverns. They continually are declining,
And they did seem
descending.
like we could pass through them.
For the most part. There's a couple
Okay.
places where you feel like you might have to squeeze,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you think you could get through them if you wished.
And at no point did they look to be well traveled.
No.
Okay.
Giants could definitely not get through some of these points.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not widened the paths like you saw in the other area where you
Yeah.
saw that they had made
Well,
them wider for them to pass through.
and if no smaller people are traversing them either, that suggests that they may connect to other things, but there's no guarantee of that.
Right. You do
And we
recall,
did seem to be going down more than we were going toward the steading.
correct, you are going down into the earth. Um, After a little bit, you may even recall that as you guys were riding along the east side of the Good Hills, you saw mountain hill giants traversing up top
Mm-hmm.
in the area heading towards there. So that may also inform your thinking.
Heading towards where the party is going to be, or heading towards
When
where Katha
when
went?
When we were going to Neil Draw, we saw them on the horizon in the
On the-
Yeah,
distance.
I know, but where are they heading is what I was.
they were heading
Ah.
towards where the good sage drums were, but they
Okay.
were up top, not traveling via tunnel underneath.
Okay. Okay.
Is the distinction I'm trying to draw?
I
Is that
got. I see
they
what you're
they
saying.
because you know there were subterranean tunnels there, so there's the possibility that that tunnel would connect all the way to here, but this is not it. Is
But it's not big enough for them anyway,
right
so
is what I'm
it's
saying.
not
Yep.
surprising they would have to go over the
Yep.
mountains. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Well, you guys, I think we're at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Daylight.
Oh, sorry, Eastern Daylight Time.
That
Eastern
we are.
Eastern Fake Time.
Yep.
And so, I think we'll call it to a close for this evening. You are directly below the steading of the hill giants. Your mission is to find out what they're doing. You have been made aware that several other beings have been arriving here over the course of several days, some incongruously coming and going to your mind. And you know that there is potentially some kind of event this evening that might be occurring, which might provide cover for you guys to get in there. You also are aware that you could go back to the Underdark through these tunnels. But we'll pick up with your decision on where you wish to go when we come back in 2 weeks' time for the Spider Queen Saga. And thanks for hanging out with us. Saw a couple new people hanging out in the chat. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. That's awesome. But thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed it at all tonight, please give us a follow. It helps us out a ton. And otherwise, thanks for just stopping by. Appreciate it. And we'll be back next, I think, a week from now is when our next game schedule is. No. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not broadcasting Wednesday. But uh, we'll be back next Sunday morning for Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep Hotep. And after that, we'll have the Warbler Brothers playing the Candlekeep Mysteries. So stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out with us. And otherwise, we'll call it a night. Anything I'm missing, folks?
Don't think so.
All right. Well, Thanks for playing, everybody, and we'll catch you on the flip. Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
All right.